But I mean, again, he doesn't know who Gabriel is, right? Because he didn't come from an Abrahamic faith. The people of Mecca were pagan.
Quran is mentioned, if this book was from other than God, they would have found in it many contradictions.
If a book is without contradictions, that has no bearing on whether it comes from God or not. I've had phone books that are inerrant, but I certainly don't think God gave them.
That we believe without understanding.
The brother asked a very important question that most of the scholars say that listening to music, watching movies, and most of the television programs, they're haram. So how can we have fun? Let me tell you, brother, at the outset that having fun is permitted in Islam as long as the fun is halal fun.
That the standard narrative has holes in it.
The Prophet tells us because Satan or the devil sleeps over our nostrils. Those who oversleep and not pray Fajr on time, Satan urinates in their ears.
I really do think Jesus was crucified and that he really was dead and buried. He thought that he was a son of God in the sense that he was specially chosen by God. I think Jesus really did think he was going to be the Messiah, the future king of Israel. I mean, that is, after all, why they crucified him.
Hello everyone, and peace of Christ all of you. Please invite your friends and let us have some good time together. Today we are gathering together for urgent meeting. Brothers and sisters, Prophet Andrew Tate, Tits, he is under the attack of the deep state. The matrix are coming again. All of us, we knew that Andrew Tate is a very decent man. I mean, who in the world can deny that? Can you? You. Can you? Who in the world want to believe in the accusation they say against him? Do you dare even to think about it? His Holiness? This person, he's a wonderful man. He helped a lot of young men to start their pimping business. In fact, his university is still open until now. Brothers and sisters, if you like to be a pimp, the last offer of the pimp, refer and earn $30. Okay. Hustler University. It's deep. We are in a time where a pimp, he can open a school. That's cool. And listen, time is not in your side. Do you see the clock? Get lifetime access to the pimp school. He will teach you the art of masturbation. He will teach you how to fool a girl, how to make her do business for you, how to make money from a vagina. But remember, this is not a dirty business. He have a license. Yeah, he have a government. He pay his taxes. And when you look at what he is doing, look, hurry up, price increase soon to $300. I mean, do you see how much generous he is? It is $49 only now. If you are late, and as you see, the clock is clicking. The class will increase soon. You have only 0 day, 19 hours, and 42 minutes to be screwed. He will take your money, and then he will tell you, didn't you see what's happening to me? I became rich, but I'm going to spend maybe the rest of my life in jail. I become rich by bad reputation and being a pimp? Only, brother, $49. I mean, I don't know. And look at this, look at those classes. Look, all of those things you can teach. What is this one? What is that? What is the one to do pimp business? Which one? All of them. And if you click at any of those, a video of a Muslim boy will appear, and he will tell you how he made $10,000 after he listened to Tate. And look, the guy next to him, he's making the same money. Obviously, this is why he's still working for Tate for $10,000 an hour. Durak, Netherlands, 19 years old. Hey, Durak, what happened to you? What happened? Tell us what happened. Your experience, brother. What we can do. I want to be rich like you, brother. What you did. Are you rich? Why you're... I mean, you're rich. Where is your villa? Join now. You know, this is a promotion video. So I'm telling you, this is a promotion. Look at the scam. Yeah. Tell us what happened.
Into the econ campus.
When I was about 15, I saw drop shipping come around a little bit in my country in the Netherlands. So all I did was make a store, and that completely flopped. So the win in the econ wins channel was that I
can't even understand anything. The music is so loud, and I think it's done this way for a purpose. I mean, do you see the scam? They bring you two guys. He put them in front of you to promote his scam. What about, tell us what is your business exactly, and what is your bank account? I mean, where is the money? At least go and buy a car like Tits, you know? So this is how they fool those people, and this is how the scam work. And those people now, they will line up to be rich, and they will pay him $50 each to hear what? To hear garbage, nothing except, excuse my language, we are talking about Tate, peace be upon him, so I have to use the word shit. This is Tits, who is always showing us his tits. Where is the video? Huh. Okay. What is that? She was in the meeting too? Anyway, it was halal meeting. So Tate, he made an urgent meeting. He keep publishing in Twitter, urgent, 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 urgent. And then he got every scumbag in the world to join his ramble. You see how they fool people to go, and even the one who is silly, stupid, he will become curious. Urgent? What happened? What will happen? Maybe the Matrix are now in his house. It's urgent, urgent, and then he is eating pizza. Anyway, so urgent meeting, and okay, and the video you watch it, this urgent meeting, I just look for it. You know, I mean, it's just a stupid dummy. You know, the guy, one is smoking, one is drinking, the whore pimp is making urgent meeting, and he was so excited. There's 500,000 people joined to watch him. I assure you, if you invite some Muslim girls with hijab naked, you will get maybe 5-7 times more number. Try it if you don't believe me. Now, after the urgent meeting, and the supporter of Tate, they came from everywhere. What they learned, what he was talking about.
This case, which we can't really discuss. We cannot discuss the case because the case is ongoing. But you have to understand that everything is printed by Lucy and her.
What? He cannot destroy. He cannot discuss. The sound is so loud. Let me see if I can lower it.
Friends is a lie. Yesterday we were at DCOT's office and 5 of the charges were removed.
Yeah, no matter what the Matrix says, yesterday, when they change the status of your case file, they have to call you to the offices at DCOT. So I was looking at 6 counts of human trafficking. I went there yesterday. I didn't quite understand why I was going there. I didn't know if I was going to go back to jail. I didn't know what they...
Okay, listen. How they are unfair, and they remove 6 counts of a charge. I mean, those metrics are weird. Those metrics are corporating. I mean, the whole idea is a conspiracy, and now he is saying the matrix, they decide to take 6 charge off. Why the matrix are being kind to you, brother? Did you bribe the matrix? Because I have a video of you saying you can bribe them. Isn't it you? You have a video, it says why I moved to Romania, and then you said, imagine if you enter to those Romanian and you carry money like this, what would happen? You know, brother. So what? So those scumbags who support the scumbag, they say the deep state as if this guy is a head of a CIA or he's a pimp. I mean, if you look at what they say, like deep state, this guy is a pimp. What deep state? What, I mean, if this guy is a religious leader who is making revolutionary in the country against the this guy is a pimp, and he is a filthy rich. If the deep state against him, trust me, they can strip him from his money in 2 seconds. In 2 seconds. In fact, until now, USA did not even make any charges against him, even though he's a US citizen. And I wonder why. Because this guy, he made it clear that he is not paying tax. That alone is a bigger crime in USA, especially if you do it on purpose. Like, you know, it's not like your accountant, he decide not to mention this because he thought this. No, he have it in video. He was teaching people in video how not to pay their taxes. That alone is a bigger crime in USA. So they drop 6 counts against him, and yet they are the matrix. Yeah, hold on. You see, just today, it's funny that today we heard the news about both has come back. Hunter Biden, he plead guilty. I mean, do you see the deep state? They could not even save the ass of Hunter Biden, you idiot. His father is the president. His father is the president. Do you know what the president means? Potato. I can say for sure they will treat him differently. I mean, the guy, he have the Secret Service with him wherever he go because he is the son of the president. It's part of his legal law. Which means even if they put him in jail, they have to put with him security. So listen. The deep state, the matrix, they catch him from his tail, and he plead guilty in 2 felony. One of them is the gun. This is a bigger crime. For what? What he did exactly? Did he kill somebody? No. Did he shoot somebody? No. Did he threaten one of his girlfriend with it? No. So what he did? Just, there's a box in the application. It says, have you ever been convicted or taken drugs before? He said no. That's it. That's it. He did not open a pimp school yet. He did not lure women to work for him and open their legs to make money for him. He did not tell 6 girls, I love you all, and then they found that he is, I mean, each one of them, she think he is the only boyfriend, and he made her open her legs to make money from her. He did not. And he is the son of the president, which is a scumbag like you. Still, he is in trouble. If he got released without getting charged, would your opinion change on Tate brother? Oh, okay. Let me put you what you said to me. Thank you for sharing your question. Your question is very valuable for us. Here we have a best customer service, and soon I will ask one of the girls to speak to you in the camera. All right? And I think that will be more suitable for you because you're a fan of Andrew Tate and you expect the best service from Andrew Tate. You know, we appreciate Andrew Tate supporters. So Basilius Andy saying, if he got released without getting charged, would your opinion change on Tate brothers? Or you will still hate despite the fact might prove otherwise? Food for thought. First of all, I don't know, I never met this guy. First time I heard about him, it was from scumbags like who like him. Otherwise, why even I will know about a pimp? Somebody told you I register in camera websites? I will know about him, so why I want to hate him? I have nothing against the guy as a person, but he's a pimp. So he is guilty before he go to court. I mean, the stupid you asking me if I will change my mind about a pimp. Until now, his business is open. Doesn't matter really if they charge him or not. I mean, the guy, he have $300 million in his bank account. All of it is coming from the sweetness of the vagina. And you asking me if I will change my opinion and accusing me of hate? My friend, the only thing I hate is the stupidity, and obviously you're stupid. What if this guy, he took your sister and he did to her what he did to them? I'm sure you will be proud of your sister and your wife if she worked for him. Would you hate him? Or you know what? Andrew Tate, he said, he admitted to sell drugs, an old video, when he was 25 years old. He says he never committed crime. Can I link the video? Okay, hold on. If you sell drugs, I mean, just to show you how people are really silly. I'm not insulting you, by the way, but this is how I talk. Don't you like the people who say those, like Andrew Tate, he say the F word non-stop, and you people like him? If I say I committed a crime, how old is he now, guys? How old this guy is? Anyone can tell me how old Andrew Tate is now? What is his age now? Anyone knows? Anyone knows? He's like, what, maybe 35, 36, 37? I'm just judging by the look. How old is he? $36? Okay, whatever it is. So let us say 10 years ago, I did sell drugs. Brother, he was just 25 years ago. What, 25 years old only? Long time ago. Only, I mean, he was a kid. He was just 25 years old. Do you see how they justify the idiot? If you are 19, you go to jail, you donkey. So what if you are 25 years old? And this is the proof that this guy is a donkey. He can take you to hell with him. He is a criminal, but he is a stupid criminal. He go on TV and he say, I did this. This is the guy who want to teach you how to have a better life. He screwed himself. So if he say, I was selling drugs, how many people he killed them by drugs? Are you talking about drugs or aspirin, brother. I think you are speaking about different kind of drugs. I think it was Tylenol. You know, it's like Tela and Nol. Your tail is getting bigger defending him. So if somebody sold drugs in many countries, the punishment is execution. There's difference between penalty for the one who uses drugs and the one who sells drugs. And if he did that when he was in USA, good luck with 15 to 20 years in jail. It doesn't matter if it was 10 years ago or 12 years ago. People are stupid. People have no brain. How many people die because of his drugs he is selling? Is that an easy crime? Is that like something, nothing, not a big deal? Okay, you know what? He did hit somebody and then he felt sorry. No, this is drugs. Drugs kill you, idiot. Drugs destroy life. So if he admitted that he used drugs and sold drugs, why he's accusing the Matrix? I will tell you. I think what happened, one of the Matrix from Bangladesh called him. Tararam, 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 tararam. Assalamu alaikum. Who? I'm Zakir Naik, and I have a dog for you. Listen, you are calling the wrong number. You're calling who? I'm speaking to brother Andrew Tate. Zakir Naik, this is not Andrew Tate. I'm a Christian prince. Listen to me. First of all, you are Andrew Tate, you are changing your voice. Because you did not pay us for the drugs we sent you from Bangladesh. What the heck? Listen, Zakurani Yuka, I did not take any drugs from you, and I will not pay you anything. I took nothing. I'm not a drug dealer, man. I'm not Andrew. Don't you hear my voice? I'm not Andrew Tate. Listen to me. First of all, I'm going to curse you. May Allah curse you. Why you are cursing me, first of all? And I don't care for you, Allah. So he cannot do anything to me. But why you are cursing me? First of all, number one, we Muslim, we are very decent. But you just told me you are selling drugs to Andrew Tate, and he is selling drugs to the Muslims. First of all, the other big fat liar. He don't sell drugs to the Muslims. He sells drugs only to the Christians. Oh, he sells drugs only to the Christians. Is that make it lawful? Exactly. And what else he does? Is that true? He opened a pimp business and he have a web camera? Christian prince. First of all, the prophet wife Aisha Peter bin him. In the hadith said that he decorated the slave and he let street. What? Hold on. Let me translate to people because nobody understands your language. Aisha, the prophet wife, she decorated a girl and she made her walk in the street and she said to herself, let us hunt some boys from Quraysh. What? Let us hunt some youth from Quraysh, you mean? Exactly. So what is the connection? Written prince. The prophet wife, peace be upon her. He is the first one to start the business of the pimp. What? To start the business of the pimp. To start the business of a pimp. So the prophet wife, she be pimpy. Exactly. And actually this is what the word pimpy is coming from. And now I know. So Aisha decorated a woman, so she put a makeup, nice clothes, see-through, you know the tricks. Please stop. What? Stop. Stop what? Don't describe more. Okay. Are you getting affected by saying decorated her, putting makeup, you know, dressing see-through? For the sake of Allah, please stop. I can't take no more. That is make me very hot. Zakir Naik, hold yourself, man. I mean, why you are getting hot? We do not open any camera for you. Do you want to call a brother Andrew Tate to show you some cameras? Those are the ones who they are defending him. The guy, he admitted that he did the drugs when he was 25 years old. That alone will make you eat poo-poo for a long time. Which country he did sell drugs when he was 25? In England or USA? If it's in USA, say hello. Actually, this guy in his video, you know, he have a video and his fans are trying to remove it from the internet. about how he started his business. He used dirty language. So if you are sensitive, you don't want to hear it, mute it until we finish the video. All right? Listen how decent and how decency work. He's a wonderful man. The Matrix, brother. The Matrix. Tell us, tits.
Big. I found this little webcam thing, and I was like, this might be some money. So I text all my girlfriends, I think it was 5 of them, text all 5, and said, you're all coming here to live with me and work with me. None of them knew about each other. Bro, Tristan will tell you the story. He'll tell you. All 5 flew in, picked them all up. They're all sitting there. I sat them around the same table. bro, I need...
And look, those two come back. They are excited. Yeah, hey, wow, somebody unbelievable. This is so good, man. He's a hero. He have 5 girlfriends in the same table. I mean, can you do that? Be honest. Can you accomplish such a mission? Lying to 5 girls in the same time. Each one of them, she think she is the only one in his life. Can you do that? Alone is a crime, because he brought them to make them work for prostitution. Andrew Tate, in his video, he was talking about I saw people, they are posting little, I don't have time to watch his shit, excuse my language. He said 2 girls, they made a TikTok and they accused me because of that, of a human trafficking. TikTok? This is the reason? There's hundreds of pages in the it turned to be TikTok. So anyway, so listen, he's a decent man. And he is sitting with 2 scumbags like him. And they are enjoying the conversation, how decent he is. He speaks to 5 or 6 girls in the same time. He is bankrupt. He called them, and now they are sitting in the same table. And here you see the story is something very weird. How somebody is bankrupt, and he pay, did he pay to their ticket to come? Or they paid? Either way, he is scamming them. And now he is saying he want to use those women to make money. He want to use them. Tell us more, Andrew Tate. And look, he's so excited. This guy is so fool to the point he brag about his crimes. And those donkeys next to him do not know that he is just, all those videos, when they play them in the front of the judge, they do not need papers. They do not need any papers. I mean, the videos alone is enough to put you in jail for a long time. This is what the human trafficking is about. You speak to a girl online or whatever way, and you make her think you love her, and you want to marry her. Come to stay with me. She come over. She is from a stupid family. Her parents, maybe they are trashy. They did not take care of their daughter. She come and she stay with you, and then you start telling her, oh, you know what, if you love me, we have to make some money so we can get married. And this is easy, just with the camera. Here we go, I will pay for the camera. The internet is here. Just fool those guys. They are horny dogs. Just open your legs, play with your vagina a little bit, and your money, a lot of money. Andrew Tate, tell us more.
Listen, I need to get paid. Right? I'm broke now. I'm retired from fighting. I have no money. I'm running out of money. So I put them all around the same table, and I was like, look, we're going to start a webcam business. You're going to stay. You're going to live in London. I'm going to look after you, and we're going to get rich. We're going to be...
Guys, he will look after them. Do you know what does that mean? I mean, they are the one they are making the money. How he's looking after them? Anyone can tell me, if they are the one making the money, how he is looking after them exactly? Listen. We are going to make money, okay? You open your legs, I look after you. Ooh, what the heck does that mean? Can you tell us more details? You know what? My degrees is equal to none. like yours. I mean, I spend my life studying and reading, you know, degree in law, master degree. I mean, all this stupid degree for what? Just date 5 girls and call them, make them sit in one table and say, listen, we want to get rich, okay? I'm going to take care of you. How you took care of them? Tell us.
A team. And they're all like, well, who's this bitch? I'm like, she's my girlfriend. She's my bitch. I'm like, she's my girlfriend. Who's this bitch? I'm like, she's my girlfriend. She's my girlfriend. She's my girl. You're all my chicks. Who's this bitch? I'm like, she's my girlfriend. She's my girlfriend. She's my girl. You're all my chicks. Who's this bitch? I'm like, she's my girlfriend. She's my girlfriend. She's my girl. You're all my chicks. Who's this bitch? I'm like, she's my girlfriend. She's my girlfriend. She's my girl. You're all my chicks. Oh.
Brother, I apologize because the verse kept repeating itself. He was reciting the Quran. Each one of his hookers, she was asked, and by the way, they are not hookers. This is the biggest problem too. Those are not hookers yet. You see, if a hooker, she accuse him of something, I say she is a hooker anyway. I mean, who's going to believe? You believe a pimp or you believe a hooker? Both are not, they have zero ethic. But those girls, they were not hookers. They never worked in this business before. And that make it a big deal. If they are hookers from before, and he called them, he said, listen, you are hookers. Okay, come and work for me, the same business. No, those are girls who met him because simply he told them he loved them. And now he did lead them into the business of prostitution based in love. Love, brother. I take care of you. I sleep with you. I boom boom with you. I'll protect you from customer. You know I am good in kickboxing. I'm a mule, like a mule. You know, kickboxing. Andrew Tate is not a true Muslim. Okay, Walid, why you don't call me Walid? Guys, Mr. Walid, he is a Muslim, and he is so upset. He keeps saying to me, Andrew Tate is not a true Muslim. Why? Can you call me and tell me why he is not a true Muslim? Why? Who is a Muslim even there to say such a thing? Shame on you. In fact, I believe that you don't dare to call me to explain why he is a true Muslim, because all evidence lead to Islam. Look, he lie, he cheat, he do pimp business, he sleep with many women at the same time. Isn't this what Islam is about? Huh? Call me. I would love to listen to you. Maybe you have something to say. Maybe you can help out with something we do not know. Don't hesitate. I mean, even like the word hesitate fit with the name perfectly. Hesitate. But by the will of Allah, is going to change to his tits. And the funny is, this guy, he claimed that he is a champion, but he have bodyguards. Huh. I mean, you must be so brave. Do you know how many threats I receive every day from the Mohammedan? I don't have bodyguards. And I don't care if 100 of them, they show up in the front of my house right now. Who dare? This potato, he claimed that he is a hero. He need a bodyguard. Oh, little girl. Why? Why you need a bodyguard? What they will do to you, honey? Why the whole chat hating, insulting him so badly? I don't know, my friend. Guys, please. You are hurting the fan of Andrew Tate. Please show love. Okay, Devor, I want you to do something. I think you can help us. Can you grant everyone here a full access to web camera in his website? I think all those guys will like him more. What do you think? I think you are a decent person who's supporting a decent man, and you know you are right. Why the whole chat hating and insulting him so badly? I think because he did not give them a free membership. What's wrong with you? Enough is enough, man. Why he don't give, based on love, to his fan, free membership to his website? Look, 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 look. Look how many hours left, brother. Look, you have to pay $40. Look here, here. Not this one. Where is it? Brother, get lifetime access at just $49. There's 0 day, 19 hours, 11 minutes, and 30 seconds left. What's wrong with you? But he become Muslim because he said Christian don't defend Christ. You know, but just to show you how stupid this guy is, after he said what he said, people, they start doing poo-poo at the Quran. Is that correct, people? Is that correct? He made a post in his Twitter saying, look, can you do that to the Quran? Somebody was cutting pages from the Bible. Can you do this to the Quran? People, they start doing poo-poo, shitting on the Quran, putting the Quran to a seat. A woman, she is wiping her ass with it, all stupid, stupid stuff. Did Andrew Tate dare to make a threat to any of them? I insult Allah every day. Can you ask Andrew Tate, the son of Muta, do you dare to threat Christian Prince? Now don't tell me he is in jail. At least make a threat. Don't tell me he cannot do it right now because, I mean, are you afraid? What is the hero? What is the one who stands for Allah? I laugh at Mohammed every day in my life. Live on air, not in private. I wrote many books giving screwdrivers to Allah and His Prophet. Who can you do that, you know? Who said we don't defend Christianity? We do. We are the one who defend Christianity. They are cowards. Anyway, before time is up, you better get your opportunity. Get your hurry up. Price is increasing soon. $300. And by the way, this advertising is there for the last century. Hurry up. The price will increase to 300 soon. Because I saw this link many times, and each time you open it, you see, get lifetime access at just $49. The hurry up, the price is going to increase soon. And you open the website tomorrow, and it says the same. Get lifetime, okay, you open it next month. Get free access lifetime because it's going to be $300 soon. Okay, you go next 10 years from now. Go and, you know, and those donkeys, they just pay. And this guy, he got rich and rich. And the donkeys, they stay donkeys, and the poor stay poor, and the scumbag is going to jail. Somebody wanna call me? His name is Walid. I didn't see anyone. No Walid. All right, I don't see any Walid here. If you are a Muslim and you are believing that Andrew Tate, the Matrix are attacking him, please let me know. I would love to hear the Muslims calling to defend their brother in Allah. He is a decent man, and the Matrix are attacking him. Weird, weird, weird. You know what? Why it is like that? Each time a prophet come, a Muslim prophet come, everybody is against him. Finally, after 1400 years of a prophet Muhammad, we got the prophet Andrew Tate. And what they do? They try to frame him. And what is the reason? Because he converted to Islam. But the guy, he have cases against him long ago. In fact, look what he say in his video. This is long before he converted to Islam. Listen, listen. Hey, Tate, tell us what happened. What happened?
And you're going to stay here and we're going to make some money. Big fight kicks off, blah, 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 blah. In the end, long story short, 3 left, 2 stayed. Those are my first 2 girls. And we started this little webcam business from my apartment. And it just grew and grew and grew. And it got to the point where at one point I had 75 women working for me in 4 locations.
75 women. None of them was a hooker before. The same business. He texts him and his brother. They bring them to date them. And they lure them into prostitution. What a wonderful man. 75. You know what? If it was 72, that is a great sign. I mean, why 75? Are you sure they are not 72? Because Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he said, you will get 72. Next time you make a video, you idiot, change the number, make it 72, the Muhammad, and they will like you more. 75 women, they are working for him. Louder, guys, the sound is not good enough. Really? Okay, let me see. I will make it louder.
And we started this little webcam business from my apartment, and it just grew and grew and grew. And it got to the point where at one point I had 75 women working for me in 4 locations.
Damn.
And I was doing $600,000 a month from webcam. So
this is in the UK. You started
in the UK.
Right?
This is in the UK. So, but this leads into the story.
$600,000 a month from vaginas. And he is bragging about it. Look at his lips like a duck. Son of Muta. You see, when you have no shame, you have no shame. And here you ask yourself, those who they are defending him, they are defending who exactly? He converted to Islam for money. That is a stupid statement. The guy already have $300 million in his pocket. What for money? I will tell you why he converted to Islam. He knew that things is getting narrow and narrow in his neck, and they are, you see, his pimp administrator, the girl, what's her name? I know, she was a police officer. She have connection with the police, and she told him, they are preparing for you a big file. There's many accusation already filed by many girls. And that opened the eyes on you. So now he prepared himself for the worst. And the worst is, if he converted to Islam, in the worst scenario, he will fly to Afghanistan, Pakistan. Like Zakir Naik. Zakir Naik is wanted in India. He's wanted. He fly to Pakistan. Who is going to touch him there? He will open, a bachabazi business in Pakistan, not girls, boys, naked boys in the camera, as the Pakistani Muslims they do, and Taliban, and he will be, doing business again. So he knew, because his hooker, the leader, the manager, she was a police officer. Even the head of his security is what? Anyone knows? The head of the security of his house is an ex-police officer. So look what he do. He was preparing himself for protection by hiring police officers. Those who are guarding his house, they are police officers. The manager hooker who work for him, she is a police officer. Did you ask yourself why he is hiring police officers? If he is worried from the police? Because in his mind, and he said in his video, that those Romanians are corrupt. I just pay them money. Right? And Tate cannot be a prophet since Muhammad, he said he was the last. No, you are wrong. Your prophet never said Muhammad, he is the last. He said he is the seal, which means he agreed with all the prophet before. But Muslims are stupid, like many stupid people in this world. They don't understand the Quran. However, I believe that Andrew Tate, he is more qualified to be a prophet more than Muhammad. As an example, his ethic is better. There's no proof until now that Andrew Tate have sex with girls who they are 6 years old. That make him better than Muhammad. Number two, he did not have unlimited number of wives. He have unlimited numbers of hookers. Muhammad, he have 13 wives, yet still he want more hookers. Andrew Tate, he don't claim that God told him to open a pimp business. Muhammad, he claimed that God told him that he is a pimp. Aka Allah. Isn't it Allah, he will give you 72? Look, Andrew Tate, he said he have 75 women working for him. You go to heaven, what you get? 72. So here you see that the point is taking the side of Andrew Tate. He have 75 already, while Allah will give you 72. Who won? Andrew Tate. All right. I agree with you. What? Agree with you in your Islam takes, but it's not very Christianity of you to condemn Russian standing for Bible and supporting NATO Ukraine with their LGBT. Yeah, you know, I agree with you now. Yeah, I mean, the Russian, they are supporting the Bible, and one of the biggest country in the world is in the Islamic territory of Russia, where women, they open their legs for prostitution and cameras. I mean, do you see how much Putin, he care for the Bible? He is not supporting LGBT, but you can open your legs in front of the camera in Russia, and you can make money and no problem. You can be a billionaire, and you can bring 70, 80 girls to your yacht and bring all the Arab boys to drink and have sex with the virgins. And Putin, he is supporting the Bible. I mean, I can tell. And Putin is destroying churches in Ukraine too. And he's bringing the head of Chechnya, the guy who is a drug dealer, to kill a Christian in Ukraine. I mean, he supports the Bible very much, brother. Yeah. The agenda, he's against the LGBT. Do you see how the pimps defend pimps? Do you see how the stupid ones, they have a brain of a chicken? And do you see how they try to fool you? Suddenly Putin now is a guy who supports the Bible. Yet he defends Muhammad in TV. Isn't it the Bible says, whoever denies the Son and the Father is an Antichrist? So how Putin, he defend Muhammad? Why? Huh? If you defend Muhammad, I mean, defending LGBT is way better than defending Muhammad. LGBT, they are not killing people. They are not. Did you see any LGBT exploding his ass in a church or in a bus? No, they don't. Muhammad defended by Putin for a reason, because he's a scumbag. But he loved the Bible, brother. Yes, he loved the Bible. He go to the church every Sunday, especially when the camera is there, you know. Anyway. Ukraine, don't change my topic. Listen, Potato, all of you get out of here. They want to change the topic from our topic. They took half of Ukraine, and now they are claiming that the Ukrainians are killing the Russian, the biggest country in the world. The massive army in the world is victim, brother. The Ukrainians are killing them. You know, the one in text who defending you, Putin, must be, your name is Olga from Russia. Aren't you Olga? Be honest with me. Aren't you Olga from Russia? I mean, even the Russian, they are against Putin. They are sick of him. Anyone who opposes him, he either in dead by poison or by a knife, or he put him in jail. Show me one person he opposes him, he is not in dead. That must be Olga from Russia. She is. Anyway, so brothers and sisters, the Matrix, they are attacking brother Andrew Tate. So I want all the supporters of Andrew Tate, especially Muslims, Like like who? I mean, we have to have somebody have connection with the tits. This guy, he went in the front of the Chinese embassy and he took off his t-shirt. And then 2 weeks after, the president of Egypt, he was kissing the ass of the Chinese president. And since then, we did not see him naked no more. And by the way, Mimi Hijab, Muta boy, the t-shirt you took off is made in China. Just to let you know, potato. And the microphone you are holding is made in China. Just to let you know, brother. And in case you do not know, even the Quran, which Saudi Arabia is spreading around, is printed in China. You know, I typed naked hijab by mistake. I should type naked Mohammed hijab. And man, what I see in front of me is something you don't want to see. I cannot show you. Oh boy. Okay, change the page, change the page. Change the page. You do not know anything about Islam? Sure I don't. You know, this is why I am so much similar to Muhammad. Muhammad, your prophet, you know nothing about Islam, and I do not know anything about Islam. You ask the Muslims, why ISIS are chopping head? They say ISIS have nothing to do with Islam, but ISIS, they say we are a Muslim terrorist. ISIS have nothing to do with Islam, but everything ISIS they do is doing as Muhammad did. ISIS have nothing to do with Islam. Look like Muhammad wasn't a Muslim. Anyway, I like the supporters of Andrew Tate. May Allah teach you all. Okay? And you know what? I think all of you are going to go rich so soon. Drugs, pimps, filthy language. You go in camera naked and supposedly you want to show us your muscles. I wonder this guy how long he will last in a fight with some street boys. He will get rich. Just hang on there. I think if you learn from Andrew Tate how to do tits business, you are going in the right direction. But Andrew Tate, you see, he make videos, and I advise you not to make videos in the future if you do his business, because this guy, he proved he is stupid, because all his crimes is listed in videos. You know, he thought if he hire a lot of like very high paid lawyers, they can save his ass. And this is the whole point, you know, like actually money can do a lot of work. I mean, you have at least $300 million in your bank account. But your videos, what you will do with them? What you will do with those videos? If you say to the judge, hey judge, this video you're playing of me, I was lying there. Oh, so you are a liar. Are you lying now?
Why I moved to Romania. So at the height of my webcam pimping, I think I'm the king of the world, right? I have.
Did he just call himself a pimp? I mean, this guy is honest. He called himself pimp. Like, you know, I mean, it's like, what is the problem? He called himself pimp.
Okay, so but this leads into the story of why I moved to Romania. So at the height of my webcam pimping, I think I'm the king of the world, right? I have all these women, da-da-da. But the problem is, my first two girls who worked for me because they loved me. I love this man. I am with this.
See, this one alone is a human trafficking. Why they work for him? People, do you understand? He want to make money from them. But why they work for him? The first two girls. Why they work for him? Because he loves me. And he is teaching them now, and he have tons of videos saying how you need to fool a girl and make her think she loves you. Tons of videos. I mean, the videos is all over. You have to convince the girls that you love them so they can do anything you want. They work for you. My akhi is calling. He is a sheikh and he is going to bury you. Okay, who is the sheikh? There's a sheikh is calling me. Okay, let's see. I see somebody. I don't know. He's a sheikh. He's going to bury me. I need to fix this. Hello? 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 Hey, must be Fakira. Are you there? Hello? Okay, take a hike. Well, she don't want to answer. What we can say. All right. Can't you hear me? No, I cannot hear you. Let me call you one more time. Maybe Andrew Tate's matrix are doing something. He declined my call. Can you hear me? I will call you one more time. If you don't answer, I will block you. Hello? 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 I hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, you say about that Al-Islam promotes slavery and all these things, but if I look into your book, it is the same.
I did not say slavery. I did not mention slavery. I said prostitution.
Well, you say it's a type of slavery.
I said prostitution.
No, I've asked other.
I said prostitution.
Now, are you going to have a?
Yeah. No, I'm not scared. I said prostitution. You said slavery. I did not mention the word slavery for a second. All my program. Oh, other video is other day. Today we are talking. Today we are talking about prostitution. Do you want to share with us? Does Islam promote prostitution or not?
It doesn't.
You're sure?
Yeah.
Do you have your Quran with you? Do you have your Quran with you?
I have what?
Your Quran.
I can open it in Google.
Well, you know, Andrew Tate, he have Quran. You don't have Quran?
No, I'm in my office. I don't have it right now.
Okay, no problem. I understand. You have an office then, huh? All right. Open for me chapter 24, verse number 33.
Ayat number what? What did you say?
Chapter 24, verse number 33.
All right. Okay, what is wrong with that?
It says, force not your girls to do prostitution if they choose a chastity. And if you force them, Allah is all merciful.
No, it doesn't say that.
Read it. What translation you like me to show you? I have all translation.
I don't see a screen. What do you mean, read it?
It
says, let those who do not have means to marry keep themselves castrate until Allah enrich them out of His bounty. And if any of those bonds people in your possessions desire deed of emancipation, make it possible for them if you find goodness in them and give them some of Allah's wealth. It's saying good thing.
Does it say here? But force not your maids to prostitution when they desire chastity.
Do not force your bond people, girls into prostitution. It says the opposite of what you say.
Okay, in order that you may. Okay, don't force them. But if you force them, Allah is all merciful. So what they mean? What does that mean? If you force them,
you're misunderstanding.
Okay, tell me. What does that mean? Go ahead.
Allah is all merciful. He's always merciful.
All right.
That Allah is saying is always merciful.
But this is another question. It says, if you force them, Allah is all merciful. But there's no penalty. In the same time, if they agree, it's okay. You see, it says don't force them to do prostitution. Don't force them. Which means if they agree for prostitution, your business is good.
No, if they are agreeing, then that means they are happy.
Okay, exactly. This is what this is what Andrew Tate is saying. So Islam promotes prostitution.
There is no forcing. If a woman is happy, then there is no forcing.
Exactly. But a second ago you said to me that Islam does not promote prostitution.
No,
and now you agree.
Islam does not promote prostitution. You have debunked.
No, you just agreed. You said if she is happy, it's okay.
Okay, she's happy. She's happy. Then that is no more prostitution.
Okay, so a Muslim woman, she can be prostitute and she is happy. Allah is happy. You are happy. So what the problem? That's what you are saying to me, right?
No. If she's a fornicator, then that's a different story.
What the fornicator? Have you ever heard that prostitution is not a fornicator? Like, are you saying to me, you Muslim, you do prostitution by touching your nose with the women? It says prostitution.
No, if she is happy, you said.
Yeah.
If you are forcing them, then Allah is all merciful. But
okay.
Here, if they are happy,
yeah,
then how nobody is forcing them.
Okay, but so you are saying to me, in Islam, if the Muslim women, they are happy to do prostitution, Allah is happy, you are happy, Muslim society happy, I'm happy too. Can I have a membership?
It's not the Muslim woman.
So who are they, those?
Who are the bonds?
They are the one you kidnap from their family?
As a result of war.
So you are doing human trafficking now because you are forcing them into...
No, they attack us, then we fight back.
Okay, you attack them, you fight back. Why you are making their girls?
No, I said the opposite.
Hold on. First of all, nobody attack you. This is a big fat lie. Secondly,
no, they attack us.
I can show you. You're a prophet. He says. You're a prophet. He said, attack the Romans so you can get the blondie girls. Is that correct?
No, nowhere.
Okay. Do you speak Arabic?
A little bit.
Somebody told me you are a sheikh. What kind of a sheikh?
I'm not a sheikh.
You are not? Oh, okay. Here we go.
If someone tells you that I am your father, I'm your father?
No, you see, I assume Muslims are very honest people because I heard that Muslims are the most honest people in the world. You know,
no one said I am a sheikh. No one said I'm a sheikh. I don't claim to be a sheikh.
Okay, the one in the chat, he told me he's calling you his brother, calling me he's a sheikh. He's going to bury you. That's what he said to me. You know?
That will be someone else.
Anyway. Okay, maybe somebody else. So listen, you are saying that your prophet, he never said, attack the Romans so you can get the blondie girls.
Yes, where can I find it if you're saying? If you
no, I'm asking you, if it is true, what you will do?
It is not true.
Okay, what if it is true?
How it can be true when it is not true?
What if it is true?
Then I will look into it.
That's it?
I will look into it. I will explore it, what you're saying.
And what do you think? Is it bad to say to people, attack the neighbors so we can get their girls? Or you think
there
it's
will be a context. There will be a context if that really happened. There will be a context.
This is the context.
You're just twisting it.
This is the context.
If the Romans have attacked us, then we would have said it. Oh, attack them.
The Roman, they never attacked. The Roman never attacked Muhammad. In fact, Muhammad, he sent a letter threatening them, convert or else. And now he is preparing his men to attack the Roman. How? By saying, not let us go and attack for the sake of Allah. He said, attack the Roman so we can get the blondie girls. This is the book.
No, he made.
Listen.
He made peace. He made peace.
Exactly. He made peace by taking.
He made peace between Persians and the Romans.
Right. Yeah. True story. Yeah. The web camera business is the peace. Listen. So this is the book of Ad-Durr al-Manthur. I can show you Al-Qurtubi, At-Tabari, Al-Jalali, whatever you want. It says here, and I will use Google translation as long as you don't speak Arabic. Here we go.
I can't see anything. What do you mean?
It's in the screen. I will zoom in so you can see it better. And this is
on YouTube.
This is Google translation. It says, Muhammad, he says, attack the Romans so we can get the daughters of the yellow girls, the yellow women.
Where does it say that?
A guy, he said to him, don't tempt me by women, Muhammad. A good man, a good Muslim man, he said to him, shame on you, Muhammad.
No, he was a hypocrite.
So the one who is good, you Muslim calling him hypocrite.
No. You're twisting it and making it such a way.
Okay, so did your prophet say attack the Roman and get the blondie girls? Yes or no?
He said like attack them because they're attacking him.
There's no war yet. What attacking him? There's no war.
They're threatening him.
No,
spreading the word of the truth.
listen, Potato, listen.
Spreading the word of the truth.
If they are attacking him, he do not need to say to them, attack them so we can get the blonde girls. He can say that you say.
No, he will say because he's the messenger of Allah. He's the messenger of God, so he
okay. So because he is a messenger of Allah, like Andrew Tate, peace be upon him, peace be upon him.
No.
He said, attack the Romans so we can get the blondie women and rape them.
No, he didn't say that.
It's in front of you. Attack the Roman so we can get the blondie girls.
All I see. Okay. I am a messenger of God. My God, prayers and peace be upon him. Grandfather, do you have the punishment for execution of man al-Safar? Grandfather, permit me, or messenger of God. He was a hypocrite.
Okay. He's a hypocrite. So he don't want to attack the Roman to get the blondie girls. That make him a hypocrite.
No. He was thinking to rape them.
So the prophet, when he says attack the Roman, you will get the blondie girls.
He was a hypocrite.
The guy, he is a hypocrite because he didn't want to attack the Roman, as the prophet said, and get the blondie girls, right?
No, he wanted to rape them. Not the prophet. Peace be upon him.
How he the guy he don't want to go to war. How he will rape them if you don't have them yet? In order to have them, you have to attack the neighbors.
He was saying, oh, messenger of Allah, please don't tempt me, because if he is going to the war, if he is fighting them, he will rape them. That's why he said, please don't. I don't want to come to war.
The one who said, attack the Roman and get the blondie girls is your prophet.
But your screen doesn't say that.
Okay, let us see what you are seeing. There we go. Let us see if it says that. اغزوا تبوك تغنموا بنات الأصفر. Here we go. I will show it to you in a second, so you can see it.
And you say the Christians are very friendly, like love your Thai neighbor or something like that, and your chat is like always hate towards us.
Yeah, well, those people in the chat, my friend, they are under the influence of chapter 5, verse 14 in the Quran. Isn't it your God, he says, he will spread hatred between the Christians?
The bad ones.
Okay, so the Allah, he will spread hatred between the bad Christians.
The bad ones, yes.
No, but he said he will spread. Listen. He said he will spread hatred between all the Christians, not the bad ones. You are lying again.
The ones,
Here we go.
The ones.
Okay. The one who don't believe in the word of God, so you spread hatred between them. That's nice. Okay. So read carefully with me. Read with me carefully. It says here, this is page number 395 and page 396. 396.
I don't see any of those things. I see the same screen. Like, can you give me the link?
You don't see the same thing?
I see the screen. I see the prayers and peace be upon our messenger.
Okay, I will post the link in the chat. Here we go. You can click at the link in the chat, and you can have it. Let me give it to you. All right. Here we go. Everyone in the chat can open it and can see it. And I will show you exactly in the Arabic page where to find it. And you are to find it here in English. Here, where it says page number 396. 396, it says, Muhammad, he said, اغزوا تبوك تغنموا بنات الأصفر. You see it? I highlighted for you. Do you see it?
I'm just refreshing your screen.
Okay, I gave you the website, so you have no excuse.
I can't open it.
Why you cannot open it? Did you say inshallah?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so why the page is not open?
Because you kafir, you just cursed it and you gave me some wrong link.
Okay, so are you saying your God Allah, he is under my command, but because you just said I cursed the web page?
No. You are the misleader. You are the Satan.
But that's mean I am more powerful than Allah. I cursed the page. Allah could not. Okay, so you are saying to me.
You yourself exposed.
You are saying to me, I cursed the page. You said inshallah. Listen, you said inshallah. Allah, he could not help you to open the page. I cursed the page. The page is not working for you. So who's more powerful?
Now the page is open.
You said to me, inshallah. No, don't lie. You said to me, inshallah, and the page is not open. And then you said, because you curse it, that means my curse is more strong than inshallah. So Allah is nothing.
No.
Anyway, okay. Look, this is your prophet saying, listen, invade Tabuk in front of you, invade Tabuk, and take the daughters of the Roman, the daughter of the yellow, which means the blonde. Why he want to invade Tabuk? Is that to spread the word of Allah? No. He want to attack Tabuk, which is under the command of the Roman, just to rape women. This is not the guy, the one you call him hypocrite saying that. Muhammad saying, let us attack the Roman so we can get the daughters of the yellow.
Isn't that true? The Romans were pagans?
No, at that time, actually, the Roman, they were Christian, and you are stupid.
No, they were pagans. They were pagans.
So if they are pagans, so why there's a chapter in the Quran, it's called the chapter of the Roman, and Muhammad was sad because they lost their war with the Persian, and then Allah, he said, the believers, which is the Roman, they will win in a few years.
Not all the ones, like many of them were.
No, those are the. Don't change the topic. Don't change the topic. This is the same Roman. Those are the same Roman. After a few years, Muhammad, he attacked them. He said, the pagan Arab, they said to Muhammad, aha, look, the Christian and the God of the Jews people, they lost the war with the Persian. Muhammad, he gave them a verse from the Quran saying, okay, look what Allah said to me. Are you denying that the Quran support the Roman? How the Roman, they are pagan and we are Christians, and then the Quran support Allah, support the Roman, and he promised them victory. And this is in
Those
chapter.
are the Romans who believe in Allah.
There is no,
some of them.
If they are Roman who believe in Allah, and you said to me the Roman are pagans, so why Muhammad is asking them? Why Muhammad he asked them? Hold on, listen, Andrew Tate is listening. Honestly, the Prophet Andrew Tate will be upset from you. Listen, if they are not, if there is Roman who believe in Allah, so why Muhammad sending him letter saying believe in Allah or else?
That is the empire to the empire to the empire.
The empire. Okay, the empire. Okay, now we go back. Listen, you are changing my topic. Okay, let us go back. So let us go back. So now your prophet, he is attacking, invading Tabuk to get the blonde girls, and this is documented in your books. And now we showed you too that your prophet, he encouraged people to do prostitution, but women, they come and complain, the wives of the Muslims, saying they are forcing their slaves into prostitution. So Muhammad, he said, don't force them unless they accept. If they accept, as you said, they are happy. So what the problem? So you yourself.
No. Did you just say like 2 seconds ago, do not force them? The prophet said, do not force them.
No, even he said don't force them. He says if you force them, it's okay.
No. You said
okay, in front of everybody. Okay. Listen. I want you to show me the penalty for someone forcing a woman into prostitution in Islam.
There will be a fatwa on that.
There's what?
There will be a fatwa on that, fatwa ruling on that.
There's no ruling?
There is.
Okay, give me the ruling.
I told you I'm not a scholar.
So what are you? A water bottle?
No, I'm a mu'minun. I'm a normal believer. I believe that Allah
you believe in
is
what?
God.
You believe in what?
Allah.
Do you know even who is Allah?
He's the God.
What God?
The creator of everything.
Is that top G? Andrew Tate?
No.
He called himself top G, top God.
Well, he's stupid. He's dumb.
Okay, well, I want to go, let's see who is the stupid now. So if he is dumb and he called himself top G, and that does not make him God.
No, he's an influencer. He's an influencer. He's
okay, he is.
Online, they say
he's an influencer. Listen. Okay.
That's how they make money.
No problem. Listen,
okay.
And this is what your prophet make money too. Okay, your prophet, he says Allah is a top G. If there is any proof that Allah is top G, he's an influencer too. And he's making money.
The one who created you, me, everyone.
If there is any proof, he is an influencer. You just said to me, influencer. He said he is a top G. Muhammad said Allah is a top.
I said Andrew Tate is an influencer.
Isn't it Muhammad influencer?
No, he's the messenger of Allah. He's the Rasul.
He did not influence you by saying I am sent by top G?
He is sent by Allah, not by Andrew Tate.
He was sent by top G.
No, he was sent by Allah.
So how he promote prostitution then? And you agree with it. You said, yes, it's fine. As long he didn't, they are happy. So what the problem?
No, if they are happy,
Yeah.
if they are not forcing, then you said it is forcing. When it is forcing, it's something bad. But if they are happy, then
Yeah.
no problem.
So if somebody contact a Muslim girl, or you said a slave, and she agreed to do a prostitution, you Muslim, you have no problem. So you have a pimp house everywhere. MashaAllah, alhamdulillah. And now you are saying to me, you believe in Allah because He is God. And why? Because the influencer, his name is Mohammed in YouTube, he said that Allah is God, He created you. If there is any proof that Allah created anything?
He is God. He created everything. He created the mankind. He created the trees. He created the mountains.
I can say, I can say I am the one who did.
No, you can't. You don't have any powers.
Why?
You're just a human.
I have a power. I can speak. Allah cannot speak. Can Allah speak?
Well, he will never speak to you. You're a hater.
Have He speak to you?
Well, of course He will bless me.
No. Answer the question. Did He even speak to Muhammad?
Like, yes, He spoke to the Messenger of Allah.
Never. You're lying now.
He did.
Okay, show me where. So you must not.
He sent Jibril.
He sent another top G. So Muhammad never met.
Okay. Isn't that true? When your God, Jesus, when you so-called God, Jesus, it went to Joseph, the angel went to Joseph and said something that put his name Jesus or something like that.
The Joseph.
Is that true?
I don't remember it. Remind me. Do you know Joseph yourself or who? I don't know. You give me a story I do not know. This is something new.
The father of Jesus.
The angels, they came to Joseph and they said to him what?
Like name him Jesus.
Jesus. Okay. All right. Okay. And what happened then?
No. Now you are agreeing that God can send angel, but now in the
No. Listen, I did not say God cannot send angel. I never said that. The Bible says that God sent angel.
You said that.
No. I said I can talk. You have a law IQ like the rest of the Muslims. I said I can talk. Allah cannot talk. Why? How come? This is very simple. If Allah is God, can He talk? Nobody heard Him. Nobody even heard His fart. So Allah doesn't exist. Prove to me Allah exists. Can He talk? He cannot talk. Did He spoke to Muhammad? No. You said to me He sent him a guy. His name is Jibril. But there's no witnesses. All people, they saw a guy. His name is Dahya al-Kalbi. And he was the boyfriend of Muhammad.
No. He comes in the shape of Dahya al-Kalbi.
Okay. So, guys, listen carefully. Jibril, he come in the shape of Dahya al-Kalbi. And how Dahya al-Kalbi look like? All of us, we knew. Here we go. This is Dahya al-Kalbi. So Dahya al-Kalbi, he come to Muhammad, and now he claim Muhammad that this guy is the angel Jibril.
Muhammad was a prophet of God. So when
listen. You just said to me. You said to me.
He knew. He was from Allah. He was an angel sent from Allah. He knew that. He was a messenger of God.
You said to me that the angel came to Muhammad. I asked you, who is the angel? You said to me, Hunter Biden. And
no, I didn't say that. You're making things up.
Didn't you say Dahya al-Kalbi?
Yes, I did.
Okay, Dahya al-Kalbi is a man.
Jibril came. The angel came in the shape of a man.
So now we have two Dahya al-Kalbi in the same town.
No, this is a different one.
Okay, but this means we have two now. What if Dahya al-Kalbi, if Dahya al-Kalbi, he did not pay for his Pepsi Cola?
God came in the shape of a tree? God came to this tree?
There's nowhere it says God, he came in the shape of a tree, but this is in the Quran. I can show it to you in the Quran.
It's also in the Bible.
No, in the Bible speak about the burning bushes. It doesn't say that God is the tree, but in your Quran it says Allah is a tree.
No, it says the burning bushes, that Allah's Spirit came to the burning bushes and it spoke to Moses.
Okay, hold on. In the Bible it says a voice came from the bushes speaking to Moses. In the Quran saying that the tree spoke saying, I am Allah, the Lord of the world.
No, it is Allah. Allah is speaking. Allah is sending the, I don't know the word in English, like it's sending that spirit to the tree. And the tree is speaking for Allah because Allah made everything in this world.
Allah, he sent his spirit to the tree?
His power is power.
You said a spirit a second ago.
Yeah, I don't know English that much.
I do not know French too. So, do Allah have a spirit?
I'm not from France. I'm from India.
Lou? Okay, you are from India. Why you didn't say from the beginning? Brother and sister, our friend here is from India, and he is going to explain to us how in the world Allah He sent His spirit. Do
No,
Allah,
you should respect that man. He's a very
do
nice man.
Allah have a spirit?
What did you say?
You said Allah He sent His spirit to the tree.
Allah is Almighty. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's Almighty.
This is not the
He's
question.
Almighty.
This is not.
He doesn't need a spirit. He
This is
doesn't need a
not.
spirit.
This
He's
is
Almighty.
not the question. Is He a spirit?
He's not a spirit. He's a God.
How He can be alive if He have no spirit?
Because He's God.
So He is dead God?
He is God.
Well, the spirit means life.
He's eternal. He's eternal.
Okay, how He is eternal? Because He's a rock?
Rock is not eternal.
Okay, anything have life has a spirit. If your God Allah is not a spirit and
He's
He
the
has
creator
no...
of life. He's the creator of life.
Listen
What do you mean he has
carefully.
life?
Well, yeah, you told me He is not a spirit and He has no spirit, correct?
He is God. He does not have. He does
I'm not
need
asking
a
you what He do
spirit.
for
He's a
living
God.
now. This is your claim, but I'm asking you, do He have a spirit? You said no. Is He a spirit? You said no. So Allah is not exist because He is maybe a piece of rock or a piece of tree. Spirit is someone is alive.
Can a piece of rock make the whole world?
Can what?
Can a piece of the rock make the whole world?
Yeah, in your mind, you Muslim, you have fictions.
You're an atheist?
Okay, hold on. No, I'm not an atheist, but you Muslim, you kiss a stone and you think this is the right hand of Allah.
No, we don't think that. We just
What if I show you the reference
from the Quran?
I mean, you Muslim, you follow the hadith more than the Quran.
That's not true. If the hadith contradicts the Quran, we just neglect that hadith.
Okay, in the Quran it says mut'a. In the hadith says don't do mut'a no more. Which one you follow?
It's up to the ruling.
A second ago you said we don't follow it.
No, if you like indirectly like understand the Quran and you become like ISIS or something, then like people like you support ISIS.
Okay, is the black stone is the right hand of Allah?
No.
What if I show you the reference? Then you will agree that your God Allah is a statue?
No, if for example, for the sake of argument, if you say Allah, astaghfirullah, if you say that He is a statue for even 1 second, then you're saying that your God is a statue.
Why? My God did not say that the stone is His hand. Your God. I'm talking about your God.
No, God did not say that stone is His hand.
Okay, here we go. This is the hadith. I will put it in front of you. And this is al-mustadrak ala sahihain. So you cannot say it is weak. And this is the reference. I will show it to everybody. And you can see it yourself. And this is the variant number 2, page number 109. It says here.
I don't see anything on the screen.
Say, inshallah, it's going to come to you.
No, you're going to deceive me.
Well, if you say inshallah, why you will be deceived? Inshallah, you have the God who have no soul and He cannot talk in your side. So now it says, وَهُوَ يَمِينُ اللَّهِ الَّتِي يُصَافِحْ بِهَا خَلْقِهِ. It is the right hand of Allah. Let me use Google translation. It is the right hand of Allah. Who said that? Your prophet. He shake hands with his creation with it. It is His right hand. It is the right hand. It is the right. Sahih. It says here, al-mustadrak on the 2 Sahih. Do you see it? I mean, the whole book is about the 2 Sahih. Value number 2.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
I will give you when I read. I like the way you read things, by the way. You read it with the spirit, brother.
Okay, what do you want to say? What do you want to say?
Well, you said to me, Allah is not a stone, and Allah is the creator, I said to you, maybe he is a, you know, he's a stone or a tree because he don't have a spirit. You said, no, 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 he's not. I said to you, well, okay, isn't it your prophet? He says the black stone is the right hand of Allah. You said to me, no, 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 no. Why it says that? And now I show it to you. And now what does that mean? Tell me how the stone is the right hand of Allah and he shake hands with.
It means that there is the power of Allah in it.
Did your prophet say is the power of Allah? Your prophet, he say, why Muslims, they have their own dictionary. Your prophet, he says, Prophet Andrew Tate, he said, it is the hand of Allah. You Muslim, you say power of Allah. It's a rock. How it is the power of, it's a rock.
Well, the same thing I can say to you.
I will go with you. Listen, I will go with you. So you are saying to me now, the power of Allah is in that rock, correct?
Yes.
So Allah is a rock. Because
that is one of Allah's miracles.
No, you said to me a second ago, the power of Allah is in the rock. That means
it's upon the rock. It's upon the rock.
Allah can give what upon the rock? You said to me in the rock, upon the rock. What upon the rock? People are sitting, you know, Al-Hajjaj ibn Yusuf al-Thaqafi, he took the rock, he make it a poop stone for 21 years. So if the power of Allah, is upon the rock, that means this guy who can destroy the Kaaba, he killed 10,000 Muslims, and he's a Muslim too, supposedly. He challenged Allah, he showed him Allah is an idiot, he does not exist. He took the black stone, he make it a poop stone for 21 years, and the Muslim, they could not take it back.
If it is true, then why is the Kaaba still there?
We built it again, thanks to the cement and concrete.
Oh,
what Kaaba? Okay, let me ask you. Let me make it simple. Let me make it simple. Is the black stone still there?
Well, yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
What if I show you it's not there?
Well, the claim that you make, it's just a wax, that is false.
Okay, I'm saying I'm making challenge. What if I show you that the black stone is not there?
It is there.
What if I show you it is not there? You see, each time I say to you something to you, you say to me the opposite, and then I show you the reference and the proof. So what if I show you that the black stone, it is not there? We have thousands of people watching and listening.
Then I would
You will what?
I would explore more.
You'll explore more? Are you going to go to Mars? I'm asking you.
What you're saying.
I'm asking you, is the black stone is in the Kaaba? Yes or no?
Yes.
Well, no, you don't have a black stone. They lie to you. Here we go. This is the picture of the black stone. You have these little tiny rocks. Let us count them together and people would die laughing.
Well, on the screen, I only see an earth. An earth just moving.
Say inshallah. Say inshallah. Say inshallah.
No, you're trying to deceive me.
May Andrew Tate make it happen, brother.
No, Andrew Tate is nobody.
He's a god for us Muslims.
No.
Okay, now let us focus in the Andrew Tate stone. Listen, those are the stones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's it. 6 little tiny rocks, and the rest, the brown thing, is a wax.
Okay, didn't you say there is no stone at all?
Yeah, there is no stone. Stone is one piece, and it's a big piece. You know, you said to me that the black stone is there. The black stone.
It is there. It is there.
But we find little tiny pimples.
Let me explain. Let me explain.
What explain? What explain? You see,
when you put the wax on it,
you're a prophet. He said that the black stone is going to witness for Muslims in the day of judgment, which means the black stone should exist until the day of judgment. But as you see,
it will exist.
Where it is, there is nothing left.
It is there. It is there. Now you yourself.
There is no black stone. The black stone. The black is on the stone. And there is the black
markings, and you just count it to like
the black stone. Listen, the black stone is supposedly one stone in the shape of a vagina. The Muslims, they put their head in it. The Arab used to put their penis in it before. Women, they used to put their hand with their blood period in it.
Proof of any of those such things. Don't make
Well, Al-Hajj was not called Al-Hajj. It's called Al-Haq, which mean to fondle the black stone.
Do you have any proof?
I have a proof. What you will say, what you will do if I show it. See, each time I show it to you.
Okay, this time I'm a man of my word. I will consider.
Okay, you will. Okay, you will consider. Okay, you will leave Islam.
No, I have to see what you're going to say if you're trying to deceive me.
Each time I show you something, I break my, like my memory is limited. I'm tired now. So if I show it to you, do you promise me to leave Islam, brother?
I'll think about it.
You promise?
Well, I can't say inshallah and I make a promise to you. I can't say it, but because
Why
I have
not?
to see what you're going to say. Because if you're just trying to fool me. So if you show me a reference, a solid reference,
okay,
then I will consider.
You will consider.
I will consider to explore.
But
more.
why you will not?
If it is the truth, I will follow the truth. And if it's not the truth, I will consider. And yeah.
But,
when you make
but why you don't make a promise? Why you don't make a promise? I mean, if this is because this is bad, don't you agree with me?
But you have to show me first.
Okay, I'm asking you if this is what happened.
What do you mean this is what happened?
If this is what happened, that the women, the period of the women made the black stone a black stone. If this is what it says.
There were one other stone there. They used to do it on that. There were the Mecca pagans. They used to do it on that. This is a different stone.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying to you. This black stone is a pagan stone, and the Arab.
No, there's two stones. There were many stones like that.
No, we are talking. We are talking. Guys, who of you have the reference for the black stone? Get black because of the blood of period. Anyone have the reference? Post it for us.
It got black because of the sins of Adam.
No. I'm not talking about this one. Yeah. Let us see. I'm trying to find.
Oh, now you're trying to find, so you don't have it.
No, I show it 1,000 times, but I need to find everything I have to find it right away. I don't save things in my because if I want to save what I know, my friend, I will spend millions of years just saving things because I know a lot. I'm not like you. I am a Christian prince. All right. So let us see here what it says. And remember, you promise that you will consider. Everybody heard you. Can you give me like 2 weeks to find it?
No, of course not.
No, why no? Come on, have mercy.
You can't be fooling me.
Okay, well, it's in the front of you in the screen.
All I see is a globe, my friend.
Here we go. It says here, وجاء جبريل بالحجر الأسود من السماء وقيل تمخض أبو قبيس فانشق عنه وقد خبي فيه أيام الطوفان وكان ياقوتة بيضاء من الجنة فلما لمسته. Hold on, my screen is off suddenly. Sorry. Let us read again. وجاء جبريل بالحجر الأسود من السماء. Jibril, he came with the black stone from the sky, and it mentioned that it was.
No, I don't see anything. I just see that your earth thing is spinning.
It's going to come to you. Just have patience. So, and then the mountain of Abu Qubais, which is next to the Kaaba, is the one who spit the black stone out, and then it was because it was hidden in that mountain during the flood of Noah, and it was a white pearl from heaven, but when the blood of menstruation touched it in the pre-era of Islam become black. You said, show it to me, you will leave Islam.
I didn't say I will leave Islam. I will say I will consider or explore.
Okay, do you consider now to leave Islam?
No.
What?
Okay, for imagine, okay, imagine.
What?
For the sake of the argument, okay?
No. Don't.
No. For the sake of the argument.
Don't jump. Don't jump. Don't jump.
I don't call myself a sheikh.
I don't, my friend. I don't care if you call yourself a sheikh. No, but there's nobody is a sheikh in front of me. All of them they shake. The second they see me, they shake literally. So don't tell me now I'm not a sheikh. I don't care if you're a sheikh. As if you are a sheikh, you would do better. You will not. Trust me. All of you are the same. So now it's proven from your books that the black stone was what? Was used. I said to you, the male they used to put their penis inside the black stone. It's a vagina, and the women they used to touch their vagina when they have their period, and they put it inside the black stone. You said to me. You said to me.
Can you give me the link?
Okay, here we go. Let me. I will post it in. I will post it in the chat. Let me shrink it because the link is long. So now we learn that the black stone, nothing but a pagan stone, sexual stone, the same as the Hindu they have. This Hindu stone, which is representing the wife, the women, private part, and there was a stone which is presenting the penis of Andrew Tate. And then people they go to Hajj. Here we go. I'm posting the link in the chat. Hey people, don't forget to save it, huh? And this is the reference. Here we go. I will go up. Bahrain complex, Sheikh at-Tahiri, part no, one.
Why does it say Shia online library?
Because it's a library. This is not a Shia book. This is a Sunni book. Shia don't say that. Shia they say it was an ass. Muslim Sunni say it's a vagina. So there's a huge difference between ass and a vagina.
You know, just because like your mind is dirty and you say it's like it looks like a farjaha, and then you
well, it says in front of you. It says the blood of the menstruation of women during the pre-Islamic era, you know, made the black stone black. What do you are you able to see? It says here, and it was white sphere from heaven. So when menstruation touched it. In the pre-Islamic era, it turned black. So what was the practice of the family of Muhammad around the Kaaba? The mother of Muhammad, she touch her vagina when she have her period. She placed her hand inside the black stone, and that made the black stone black. The reference in the front of you, I have nothing to do with it. Everybody is my witness.
Okay, for the sake of the argument, and I have seen some of your videos. You make
no, don't tell me, don't tell me for the sake of argument. I'm showing you the reference, my friend. Those arguments, like you can say such a thing if I did not show you the proof.
Okay,
right?
for example, if Islam is false, can you prove that Christianity is true?
I just did.
How?
Because of Christianity teaching you holiness. Doesn't teach you kissing stones and paganism. You Muslims.
Are you sure?
Okay,
are you sure?
Absolutely. Can you show me where when Jesus says you go kiss stones?
But are you sure in the Old Testament nothing such things are mentioned?
Show me where in the Old Testament it says go and kiss stones. Go ahead. And the Old Testament it says make no images for what is up in the heaven or down in the sky. That's it.
No. I'm not talking about kissing stones. I'm talking about the same slavery. Is that true?
You go back to the slavery. My friend, you are my slave.
I'm the slave of Allah.
You're not. Okay. You are my slave. You are my slave. Prove me wrong.
No. In the
okay,
book of
I will make it simple. I will make it simple for you. I own Allah. Allah, He own you. You are my slave. Prove me wrong.
How do you own Allah? How do you own Allah?
I own him. I just get him busted every 2 seconds. I own him. So Allah, he's under my I'm making fun of Allah. Allah cannot speak to me. Don't dare to debate me. Cannot answer me. And you are saying to me
but
how?
You don't show your face. You hide.
Okay, I am exactly. This is the same exactly as Allah, isn't it? Allah, He says He never spoke to anyone except from behind the curtain, hijab.
That's how God speaks.
And this is how I speak. So a second ago you said to me you hide yourself, A second after you say,
No, you're a human. You are a human. Can you be the burning bush?
Prove to me that I'm a human. Prove to me. Do you have any proof? You don't. You assume. You know, if I show you how I look like, you will scared. You will drop dead. You know, you have no idea you're talking to whom. So now everything you said to me about your God, it turned to be potato. You have nothing to be true about your God. Everything is nothing but fiction. You have no black stone. They lie to you. They said to you the black stone is there. There is no black stone. They said to you there is a religion. There is God. There is no God. This God is not the God of Islam. There's my God. The one who created the world. Your God don't even know how he created the baby.
Well, doesn't it sound funny that your God, if he created the world, didn't his own creation killed him? That you believe that he was dead on the cross?
Jesus, right? He said, nobody, I will go with you. But listen, you are the one who made this logic, and that logic is against you. Isn't it Jesus, he said?
No, I am saying your belief. You believe.
No problem, no problem. No problem, my friend. Listen, but Jesus said, nobody can take me. I lay down myself. So he allowed them, and nobody can take him. And then he come back to life. But I will go with you. You just said, how can creation can kill Jesus? Is his God? But in Islam, they could not kill him. So that's mean if you are really listen. If this is your logic, nobody can kill God. Well, nobody can kill Jesus in Islam. So Jesus must be.
No. Now you see. To prove your religion, you need Islam.
No, I'm talking to you with your logic. This is your logic. Your logic as a Muslim. If you are a Hindu, my friend, listen.
You guys say he died.
If you are a Hindu, I will read for you the cow chapter. You are not a Hindu, so now I have to answer you from your logic. You just said, everybody heard you. If Jesus is God, how his creation can kill him? So this is your logic. The answer is, well, if this is the reason for him not to be God in Christianity, that means he must be God in Islam, because his creation could not kill him in Islam. All right, now he's alive in heaven.
Allah saved him. Allah took him.
Prove it. You keep saying Allah saved you. Allah. Okay, I went to the bathroom. Who made me do that? Allah. I went to do poo-poo. Who made me do it? Allah. I just ate a tomato. Who made me eat tomato? Allah. I mean, you Muslims are funny.
No, the people.
I want to ask you a question. A Muslim, he asked a Christian a question, and his name is Shamsi. I don't know if you know him. He said, "Is God exist?"
The guy on the speaker's corner.
Yeah, speaker. No, he's not. He's not in the speaker corner. He is in the corner. So listen. Is your God Allah exist?
Yes.
Can he do everything?
Yes.
There's nothing impossible to Allah.
Well, he's almighty. What does almighty means? He's existing. He can do everything. There is nothing impossible.
I want the answer. If there is anything impossible to Allah.
To become the Satan, he cannot become the Satan.
So there is something impossible for Allah.
Well, God does good things.
This is not a question. This is not a question. Focus with me. If there is something is impossible for Allah to do.
No.
Okay. Can Allah exist and not exist in the same time?
He's always existing. How can you say he's not existing? So
you just said to me he can everything he can do.
Okay. Now you try to trap me with a tricky debate questions that
I'm not. This is not my debate. This is what a Muslim, he asked a Christian. He said to him, his name is Shamsi. He said to him, can God exist and not exist at the same time? So how come Muslim, they make a trouble to answer it, and they go after us asking the silly question?
No.
But a second ago, you said this is silly question. So
he's just a random guy. He's just a random guy. You just pick random guys.
Hold on. What do you mean random? What do you mean by random?
It's just a random guy.
Are you saying he is a stupid? He says stupid.
He's not my sheikh. He's not my sheikh. I don't follow him.
Okay, so I got okay, I got you. Thank you very much. You know, I thought you are insulting him, but obviously you are not. You are just saying he's a stupid man. He says stupid thing. And
okay, he can be stupid. He can be stupid.
He cannot be stupid. He is stupid because just what you just said. You know, because you are the one who said to me this is a silly question, and Abdul, he claimed that he made a victory over the Christian. He said the video is called Shamsi demolished Bob the Builder. What the heck? And we asked the first Muslim the question he asked the Muslim, he called Shamsi stupid. No problem. Now listen, can Allah have a son?
No, he can't.
But you just said to me nothing is impossible to Allah.
Yeah, of course. He doesn't need to have a son. Why would the Almighty God need to have a son?
Well, do Allah need to have Muhammad?
To convey his message, yes, messenger.
I thought Allah do not need anyone a second ago.
No, if he needs, he will make one. That's
Okay.
what, that was the Quran
So okay, guys, if he need, guys, listen carefully. If he need, he will make one. So Allah, he is not independent. He need.
No. The God made the world because he likes to. So if he likes to, he will make one.
But you just said to me, no, listen. Why you bite your tongue? You are the one who said, if he need, he will make one.
I'm not a native English speaker like you.
I am not an English speaker. I'm an Arab. Don't you see how English my funny? Sometimes, like the first time I went to the chat, I say hello guys. They bounce me because I was saying hello gays. So don't tell me I speak good English now. Honestly, this is what happened to me. I don't know what those Americans, they bounced me from the chat room. I wasn't like, I was being nice. I say hello guys, and they bounced me first chat room. I went to the second room. I said hello guys, and they cursed me and they bounced me. I said, what's wrong with those people? Maybe they know I'm an Arab, you know. I went to the third chat room. I said hello guys. They bounced me again. I don't know what I'm doing, man. And then I figured out I was saying hello gays. Anyway, so listen to me carefully. You said Allah, he will make one if he need one, correct?
Yes.
Okay. That means Allah, he need.
No, it doesn't mean it need. I said if he needs one, he will make one. He didn't need it, so he didn't make one.
Exactly. So if he need one, he make one. So Allah, he make ones or things when he need it. Well, my God, he do not need anyone. So your God can't be God.
No. You said it's just like the question that like you claim that Shamsi asked. Like you're claiming that can Allah have a son? I said no, and you're asking me why can't he have son? Like right now he's not independent or something like that. You're making a claim.
No,
and I'm saying
Allah,
if Allah wants, he can make it. If he doesn't want, he doesn't want to make it because whatever he likes, he does.
My friend, listen carefully. Allah, he said,
can even make a believer.
Okay, I want to ask you, are you better to explain why Allah don't have a son from Allah?
What?
Who explain why Allah does not have a son? You or Allah better?
Of course, Allah.
Okay, Allah, he said, how I can have a son? How can he have a son if he do not have a girlfriend? He did not say because I don't need one. So Allah cannot be God because he need a girlfriend.
No, it's trying to say,
yeah.
How can I make a son if I don't have a girlfriend? Because he doesn't need a girlfriend.
Okay.
He's God Almighty.
No, that means he need a girlfriend because this is an answer of a man, not an answer of God. Did God of Mary have a girlfriend and he have a son? According to the Christians, is Jesus son of God because he had wife, her name is Maryam? No, correct?
Well, the angel.
What the angel
gave?
What gave?
The angel, Jesus is not son of God. He's a son of angel. Like it's the angel, the messenger of believer.
The Muslim, they have a new religion now. Jesus is the son of angels.
I meant angel is the one delivering it.
Delivering what?
If you go to chapter 19, verse number 19.
Okay, it says to give you the gift of the Holy Son, correct?
What translation is that? Where does it say it's holy in the Arabic?
Why Muslims, each time I say something to them, they throw a rock at me? I don't know why.
No, if it doesn't say it and you're making a baseless claim.
Did I say anything to you until now and I did not prove it? Did I? Did I say a single thing to you and I did not prove it?
No. Then open chapter 19, ayat number 19.
Okay, it's in front of you.
All I see is you're selecting the surah.
Chapter 19, verse number 19. Hey people, don't forget to unsubscribe if you already are if you are already subscribed. For the sake of the top G, don't forget to unsubscribe if you are subscribed. And if you are not subscribed, subscribe. So next time you come here, you unsubscribe. Because this is how you can get rich. Allah will give double your reward. Think about it. You lose one deed when you subscribe to me. You gain 2 deeds when you unsubscribe.
No, don't change the topic.
I'm not. It says in front of you. I'm waiting for you to read. It says the Holy Son.
No, it is a mistranslation. Does it say in the Arabic?
Mistranslation.
What is the website?
But you are the one who was reading Yusuf Ali a second ago. This is Muhammad Yusuf Ali.
That's not Yusuf Ali. What website is that?
This is not Muhammad Yusuf Ali. Here we go. I will show you. This is Muhammad Yusuf Ali. Don't make me call him. He's dead. Here we go. It says English translation.
Go to the main website, thequran.com.
This is Quran. I mean, don't make me say bad words, man. Come on. This is Yusuf Ali. It's in front of you. I mean, I have thousands of people watching me. They will laugh at me if I'm lying. I mean, come on. It says English translation, Yusuf Ali. Okay. It says the Holy Son. Here we go in front of you. So now he is the gift. But he is a gift from your Lord. You claim that he is a gift from the angel. You Muslim, you add word to the Quran, don't you? Does it say it's a gift from your Lord? So Jesus, if he is the son as a gift, according to the Quran, he is a son of Allah. God forbid. That's disgusting.
Do you want me to read it? It says, I am the only a messenger from your Lord sent to bless you with a pure son.
Okay, so he is a messenger, and the messenger is carrying delivery. What is the delivery? Delivery is from who? From God. So delivery, the gift is from God, not from the angel.
No, it's just like bestowing a son.
Are you saying to me in Islam you believe that angels, they are creators too?
No, if Allah gives a command to Gabriel, of course,
what is the command? What is the command?
Delivering a messenger.
No, he's delivering a message. He said to her, Mary, you will have a son. That's it.
Okay, then how no, you claim that Allah's like a son, but it doesn't mean Allah's son here.
Okay, listen. Allah, if you want to have a son, in the other verse we showed you, he says he cannot have a son unless he have a girlfriend. And there is other verse in the Quran where it says if Allah want to have a son, he will take one of the girls of Andrew Tate's. What do you say about that?
It says themselves.
Huh?
It says themselves, from themselves.
This is what Andrew Tate he claimed. He have 75 women. So Allah want to take wives from himself?
He's eternal. He's eternal. Like, do you believe?
Okay,
like, for example,
listen.
No. For your example, in your belief, you believe that Jesus is like virgin by birth, and what do you call? He's not like having. He's coming without all sexual, all those things, right? Is like virgin birth is like eternal, something like that. What do you believe, right?
This is your Quran. Are you mental? Are you drunk? Your Quran says Mary is virgin. Chapter 19.
I'm not talking about that. You say it is he's eternal.
Yeah,
eternal.
eternal. Yes, eternal. Yeah. But let us focus now. We will go about Jesus is being eternal.
So according to it is fine. It is fine for you to say that he's eternal. He's not like made, like having a sexual intercourse and popping out. No, he's eternal. He's made in such a way. But for the Quran, when it says something like that, it's bad.
They say what? The Quran, they say stupid things. It says Allah cannot have a son.
The messenger, the angel, delivered a son, bestowed a son on Mary. That's what the Quran chapter.
Nowhere in the Quran it says the angels deliver a son. You don't know what you are talking about. The angel Jibreel, he is delivering a message. The son supposedly. Are you saying to me the son of Mary created by Jibreel? If this is the case, say yes.
No, I didn't say that.
Okay, then don't say he delivered a son. What delivered a son? The dog, like he put him in his shoulder and he came from Allah.
Blessing with the son.
What a blessing. What all the blessing. Jesus do not need a blessing because he's God. And even the Quran says, Salamun alayya yawma wulidtu wa yawma amutu wa yawma ub'athu hayya. Peace be upon me, the day I am born, the day I die, and the day I will be resurrected. So Jesus do not need the blessing of anyone.
Which ayat?
Why Muslims do not know their book? Each time I say something to you, you say to me, which verse?
You bring some mistranslation and show it and just fool people. That's it.
Okay. Guys, I always give mistranslation, and the Muslims, they do not know where I'm getting this from. So now if we if I show you that, is that going to hurt your feeling because this is the truth?
If you show me that, I will really reconsider. Yeah.
There's many things you to consider today. Chapter 19, verse number 33. You are almost there, brother. You will leave Islam in 2 minutes, maybe. I can hear your frustration.
Okay, supposedly, if Islam is, you know, according to you, if it is false, then prove it to me that the Christianity is true.
I will prove to you Christianity is true when you decide to leave Islam. So are you out of Islam?
Well, I don't want to make a claim on online, but I'll consider.
You keep saying to me, I will consider.
Yeah, please try to understand. I can't make.
Are you afraid to say online? Come on. You're the man.
Okay, I'll think about it.
Don't you want me to explain to you Christianity? Because I will not. You see, the Bible says, don't throw your jewels under the feet of the swine. And Islam for me is the swine. I'm not insulting you, but Islam is the swine. So in order to go to the Bible and give you that jewel, you have to come out of the stable of Muhammad. So if you say I am out of Islam, my friend, because as you see, this is a stupid religion, the black stone is the right hand of Allah. Muhammad, he promised you black stone will witness for you. It turned to be the black stone, nothing left. It's just a few tiny rocks. They are not in the size of a booger. And the Muslim, they cheat in Saudi Arabia.
You have to understand. I'm following this from since the day I was born. And then when you come up to my face and say like something that's such a crime, first I will be
no problem. Do you live in Islamic country or you live in the West?
I live in India.
India is safe. You can leave Islam.
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like when you say a claim like that, like if the prophet was bad, the prophet was something, he was false or something like that. For instant reaction for any human, he would be angry, right?
So what? I don't care. I see the truth. For me, which one is better for you? To make you angry and tell you the truth, or to make you not angry and tell you lies? I have to be honest. You know?
You got a point. Yeah, you got a point.
Yeah. Otherwise, I will be perfectly correct, and then nobody will say trust what I say, because you know the one who don't make you angry, it's mean he said nothing to you. You know, even if you're.
Well, that Allah tests us, so. What if you are a test for me, that Allah is sending you as a test?
Well, let us say I am a test. That means Islam is more stupid because Allah is testing you by somebody proving to you that Allah is a fake God. That is horrible. So Allah, he decided to test you or test himself, because the testing we are doing is to Allah. We are examining Allah together. I'm not testing you. You are not here to apply for a job. I don't even know you. You do not know me. You will not pay me. I will not pay you. So what test? The one who failed in the test is Allah. Allah, he turned to be a leg. He's a shin. He is. You see, the Christian, they say hallelujah. The Muslim, they say shananuyah. That is a crazy God.
We don't say that. We don't say that.
So what do you say? The shin of Allah? Why you worship a God? He's a shin.
Shin of Allah is beautiful.
Sexy. The shin of Allah is beautiful.
Because he's God.
Whew, that's something. So if God is beautiful, why he is stripping, brother?
Okay, I've seen that video of yours, what you're talking about. Yeah, I understand.
You see my video talking about what?
The one you just said, the shin.
Yeah, your God is a shin, but you know, he's a respected shin. I mean, there's like more than 1 billion Muslim, they worship this shin.
So you don't believe that your God has shin?
You see, I did not say my God does not have a shin. Isn't it Jesus, he came to us. Listen. My God, He is the Messiah. He came as a human being, in the shape of a human being. But your God, all of Him is a shin. All of Him. Okay, do Allah have an ass? No. Do He have a butt? No. Do He have a waist? No. Do He have a chest? No. Okay, what He have? A shin. So, according to your prophet, Allah is a shin, and He have a foot, and He have two right hand in the right side of His body. So, I mean, this way we knew how Allah looked like. Based on this, let me try to help you to show you how Allah looked like. If this is Allah, I will use the screen here. Give me a second. I'm not making fun, by the way. I'm showing respect now to Allah. So if based on Muhammad description, like when you kill somebody, I don't know if you kill anybody before, and the police, they ask you, or they ask the witness, describe the person you saw. So let us follow description. He have a foot. So Allah, He have a foot. Wonderful. And then the prophet, he says, Allah have a shin. A shin.
By the way, I just see the earth spinning. I see nothing. Okay, now I do.
Okay. Allah have a shin. We don't know if He have a knee or not, but So Allah have a shin. Allah have a foot. Allah have two eyes. Okay, two eyes. And He have two hands in the right side. Oh, this is not the right side. Hold on. I'm confused. They say which one side is right, because they bend in your side of the screen. Oh, I have to draw it again. Okay,
I get it. I get your point.
No. You need to see your God, the God you pray to Him. I mean, I'm making your dream come true. So He have two hands, and both of them are in the right side, and each hand have 5 fingers. How beautiful. Okay, this is your God. This is the one you pray for Him 5 times. A foot, a shin, 2 eyes, and Muhammad, he said he have a face. That is Allah.
But what if we just consider the Quran only?
So you wanna throw Allah now, and you wanna consider the Quran only?
No, you're taking the hadith too.
But the shin is from the Quran. Isn't it the Quran says, وَيَكْشِفُ عَنْ سَاقٍ? This is Quran, my friend. This is not hadith.
But the hands?
Huh?
The hands.
The Quran says He have hands too. The Quran says He have a face, He have a shin, He have 2 hands. This is all from the Quran. يَوْمَ يَكْشِفُ عَنْ سَاقٍ وَيَدْعُونَ إِلَى السُّجُودِ فَلَا يَسْجُدُونَ. So the day they will ask to bow down to the shin of Allah, and they will not be able to bow down, because Allah's shin is so powerful. If I am you, I will leave Islam right away. I mean, this is see, I'm not making mockery, but your God is a mockery. What about you?
I consider that. Okay, I consider that.
What about you print this and you put it in your living room? And anyone he come to your house, tell him, this is my Allah.
Oh, they'll cut my head off.
Don't tell him I said that. Tell them a Christian prince said that. Put it on me. What do you think?
Okay, I consider.
You consider what? Are you leaving Islam?
Consider what
Did you agree to leave Islam, my friend?
Yes.
Hallelujah. We are happy for you. Well, now, as long as you agree to leave Islam, I will be happy to answer you about the Christianity. Go ahead, as I promise you.
So you said, like, for example, if Jesus is God, for example, if he is God, then how can his creations kill him? Like you said that, okay, Jesus already said, like, he laid down his life and take back up, something like that. But still, how can his creations kill him? You believe that he died on the cross, right?
How can his creation kill him, and yet he come back to life? How come we don't ask this question? So death cannot affect Jesus. He proved to us even by death that he is God again, because even when they killed him, he come back. He says, "You can destroy this temple. I will rebuild it in 3 days." So the Messiah, even in his death, he have a very solid proof, extreme solid, because nobody go back to death and come back. I will be back to you. You can destroy it. I will allow you to destroy it, just to show you who am I. I am the Messiah. I am him. I am God's son. So they killed him willingly. He accept. He come back to life against their will.
But you believe that he was dead on the cross, right? He died on the
cross. He died in the cross, my friend. God never die. God never die. What die is the flesh. So you as a human being, when if somebody killed you, listen, let me explain to you. You as a human being, not as God, even you don't die, because simply you die as a flesh, but your soul is always alive. Always, always.
Yeah.
That's why we have something called resurrection. What is resurrection is? The flesh is dead, the spirit is alive, then God reunite the flesh with the spirit. Do we agree?
Yes, I do agree.
Okay. The Bible says that the Messiah, he was alive by the Spirit. He's alive by the Spirit. So he is dead by the flesh. He's alive by the Spirit. And that make him, what make him God? You cannot erase Jesus. You cannot kill Jesus. You cannot destroy Jesus, because this death only for the flesh, and the flesh is not when Jesus came to existence. Jesus, he said, before Abraham, I was. So when Jesus, he said, before Abraham, I am exist. But at that time, the flesh.
Well, the Quran also says that Allah is the God, and Muhammad is, peace be upon him, is the messenger of God. All these things. And
yeah, but
the Bible also says it. Then,
my friend, the difference is the Quran is just a book of a cheap talk. Allah he create, Allah he did, Allah etc., and then Allah did nothing. Jesus is a person who did what he say, and he say what he do. So when Jesus, he say, I resurrect people, he resurrect people, even he resurrect himself. When Jesus, he said, I forgive sin, he forgave sin, and he commit no sin. Jesus, he healed the blind, he made the blind see, which means he created eyes. Jesus, he, even there's a video of Mufti Menk, he says, Jesus, he just moved his hand on the crowd. He just moved his hands. Even the Bible says, there's no books can write all the miracles Jesus did. No books can be enough to write the miracles. So what we have in the Bible is just the most important ones to tell us who is the Messiah. But the Messiah, his miracle, nobody can count it, for he himself is the miracle. Don't you notice that the Messiah, everything about him is miraculous? His birth. Even now, where was he as a Muslim? Now you are not Muslim. He is alive. His birth without father. I mean, okay. The Muslim, they say he is the same as Adam. The Quran says that he is not the same as Adam. Adam was created from mud. Jesus is not. He is born. He is the only person in the world is born, but yet he don't have an earthly father. So who is his father? God. For he is the only one he came from. So the Messiah, he prove what he say, and he say what he do. So when he say, I can do this, in fact, the Messiah, he do it, he don't say it. Like the Messiah, he did not say, I will make the blind see. The Messiah, he made the blind see. Allah, he says, he will do things, but we never saw anything to be done. When Muhammad, as an example, you agree that the Messiah, he healed a lot of people, correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
The Quran even says that. Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to pressure on you on Islam no more, but I will give you an example to show you how Allah cannot be God. If Allah, Muslims, they say that Muhammad is the most beloved person to Allah, correct?
Yeah.
All right. But then we find that the Prophet of Islam, he is badly sick, and Allah cannot help him. So why the Messiah never gets sick, yet every sick person walked by, he got healed by the Messiah. Even a woman, she touched his clothing. She did not even talk to him.
Okay, but at this point, I'm like, I don't know. I'm just like in a shock. I don't know, what to say and what not to say. But I have heard from my fellow colleagues. They said like Jesus slept, he ate, he pooped. So he's just a human.
If you can show me where he pooped, that will be a poopy reference. But nowhere it says that. That is a lie. Secondly, you Muslim, I mean, you are not a Muslim no more. Those Muslims, they say that in heaven, Muslim, they will not poop. Does that mean they are God? Do angels eat and poop? No. Are they gods? So the logic.
But he slept. He was tired and all those things.
No problem. The Messiah, he come in the flesh, and the Messiah, because he took our likeness. This is what the Bible says. He humbled himself, and he took the flesh of a human being. He humbled himself to be like us. But this is not because he is. I mean, the Messiah, he fasted for 40 days. Can you fast for 40 days?
No.
Okay, so how come they remember the human being when they want? They forget the human being when they want. So if God, he ate with me, well, he can. It doesn't hurt him. If this is about need, well, you need to prove to me that Jesus need anything. Because the one who can create it from the mud, the bird, as the Quran says,
the clay birds, yeah.
Yeah, he do not need anything because he can always create life. I mean, what he need? He can create a bird and eat the bird.
We believe it is the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
It cannot be because Allah could not create anything. Allah, as you see, Allah, he think that the sperm of the woman women have a sperm since when? From her ribs. The man have a sperm coming from his backbone. The sun set in murky water. The honey they make. The honey is the poop of the bees, and the bees eat a fruit. I mean, everything in the Quran is wrong. So if we want to say
compared to what?
Huh?
Like compared to what? Like when you say something is wrong, you're comparing it with something, right?
If I say something is wrong, I can bury it.
No. I'm saying if you say something is wrong,
yeah,
you're making. If you want to say something is wrong, you need to have something to say it is wrong, right?
Yeah.
You have to have some kind of proof or something.
Well, everything in Islam is proven to us Islam is wrong, and you agreed with me. And now, if we go to Jesus, if there is something about Jesus wrong, can you name one?
But you believe he is God, but I just don't understand.
You see, this is why I believe he's God. If there is some, look at the challenge. Because if you ask anyone about me, I mean, anyone, even in the chat, they will say there's many things wrong about Christian Prince. He always, sometime, he want us to work harder, and sometime he so harsh on us, blah, blah, blah. They will find you a lot of excuses. This is not even see how I look like. So imagine if they see me. So now, everyone have something wrong with him. But if there is anything wrong about Jesus, he never commits sin.
Yeah, you're right. Even the Quran says that, yeah.
I showed you the verse, chapter 19, verse 19. He's the Holy Son. He's holy.
Yeah, pure, faultless.
He's a pure.
Right. Yeah.
So the Messiah is a perfect person, yet he is in the flesh. So I can judge the Messiah by the flesh if he is doing the act of the flesh, but I cannot judge the Messiah except to be God, for he did not do the act of the flesh, which is sin. So even Mohammed, he was copying from the Bible, and he said a statement which is trying to make it like a Christian speaking of original sin. Every son of an Adam is a sinner, but Jesus is not. This is why even Muhammad, he said that Shaitan, he could not hurt two human beings. Jesus and Mary, according to Islam.
But you believe that Jesus was tempted, something like that?
No,
I don't know.
No. You see, the Bible says tempted. That means the Shaitan, he tried, but Jesus never been tempted. The tempting, it's an example, like, somebody says to you, hey, Christian Prince, if you, like Andrew Tate, I will give you $10,000. He's tempting me. That is a temptation. But Jesus never did. That is tempted. Tempted
Yeah,
means
the devil tried to.
it tried,
tempt
it tried, but Jesus, did Jesus do anything of what he said? No. So how the word tempted here is not accurate, because tempted, when people they say it, they mean that he is really was under the influence and he was really doing something bad. But as you see, each time Satan, even Satan himself, he said to him, if you are the Son of God, correct? Satan, he said to him, if you are the Son of God. So even when Satan is tempting him, he is not tempting him as a man. He is tempting him, tempting Jesus as the Son of God, trying to make him do something not right. Why? Because God himself, which is Jesus, said, don't tempt your God. You cannot tempt your God. So don't try that. So Shaitan, he insists, he's trying, oh, if you are the Son of God, what about you throw yourself and then the angels will carry you? If you are the Son of God, you know?
Like the God, like if Jesus is, for you, for a second we pretend Jesus is God. So if Jesus is saying, don't tempt your God to the Satan, then for like the Satan's the Lord or God is Jesus?
My friend, Jesus saying him, it says don't tempt your God, which means you cannot tempt me. You cannot tempt me. I am your God.
Like the
Son of God, the Son of God is God. The Son of God.
I get that point. I get that point. But when you say, like, when Jesus says to Satan, like, don't tempt me, I am your God, it means like Jesus is also saying that I am your God, Satan. Like, I'm the God of Satan.
So what? He's the God of everybody. Satan, not Satan. Isn't it God who created Satan? But in Christianity, the difference is, in Christianity, Satan was not created as Satan. He was created as an angel. And the angel decide. Huh?
He's not a creature?
He's a creature. Created by God. All angels created by God. So, but he was not created as Satan. He was created as an angel. So yes, Jesus is the God of Satan.
All right, and one of the other.
You see, the word God, the word God is not something you give it to somebody. It is he who he is. So who is the one who will destroy the evil? Who is the one who gave life? Who is the one who made everything in existence come to existence? That is God. And Satan is one of billions of things came to existence by the order and the command of God. So he is the God of Satan. If Satan, Satan, he like it or not, Jesus is the God of Satan. And here you see the Muslim, they say, Jesus never claimed that he is God, but all the Bible is saying so. Even when the one you mentioned,
the one he says like, the Father is greater than I, something like that.
Exactly. Great, so because simply, if I say that, you know, when we Christian, we say what we say. We say he's born of the Father, born of the Father. So why he is called the Son and why the Father called the Father? Because simply the Son is from the Father, not the opposite. Not the opposite. But
so the Father is stronger than Jesus?
No, this is what it's mean, that I am born of the Father and I am in front of you in the form of a human being. So God, he loved the world, he sent his only begotten Son. So the Son is working with the Father to save mankind from their sin. The Son, he is equal to the Father as a divine, but the authority, all the authority, was given from the Father to the Son. And this is why the Father is greater than the Son. For everything the Son he has is given to him from the Father, not the opposite. But that will not change the fact that the Son is the same as the Father. He is holy as the Father is holy, and it is one God at the end. This is why when his disciple, he said to him, why you don't show us the Father and that's it? The Messiah said to him, I am with you all this time, and you do not know me.
Doesn't that like contradict the other one he said? Like if he's saying, I know that verse, what you're quoting. I heard about that many times from some of my Christian friends.
Okay.
Like Jesus do claim to be God. And yes, I did look into it. But if that is true, then the other verse that Jesus is saying that the Father is greater than I, doesn't that like contradict like each other?
No, because we believe in three persons. The word echad in Christianity, echad is a unity, is not one as a number. One as unity, echad. So the Bible says in the Old Testament, the man, he will leave his family, his parents, and he will be, when he get married, he will become echad with his wife. And when the Bible speaks, O Israel, your God is echad. Your God is one. This is not about one person. This is about unity. So this is not a contradiction. It's going to be a contradiction if we say that the God the Father is the same as God the Son. We don't believe in that. We don't. We believe God the Father is a person. God, actually, the word person in English is not right, but my English is limited, so I have no choice but to use it. In Arabic, we say uqnum. So God the Father is an uqnum. God the Son is an uqnum. God the Holy Spirit is an uqnum. But the three is one God as echad. It is not one as number. It is one as unity.
I meant like, so now there are like three
separate. Three person, one God. For all is God is glorious. For all of God is divine. So the Messiah is divine. The Holy Spirit is divine. God the Father is divine. Yet all is one God. Not a three God, not two gods, not one only as a person. It is a three and one in the same time. So you might say to me, this is kind of mean too much to understand. No, actually everything around us present that. As an example, when the Quran says we made from the water every living thing, and then we find that the water is H2O.
The chemical, yeah.
Yeah, but the water is water. It's not a three, really, right?
Yeah.
But if you are a person of knowledge, you will find out that water is a three. Even though when we see it, we see one. We don't see three. So the unity here is a unity.
But in that case, it is like each component, like for example, two hydrogen, like there are two hydrogen.
I'm not saying God is water. I'm just giving you an example. Okay? To make it like acceptable to your mind to understand. Same as we say, okay, I saw, we don't compare God to sun and water, but just to make it simple for people who don't understand. So when we look at the sun in the sky, okay, it's a star, but the sun is in the sky, it's far away, yet the light of the sun is here. Is that correct?
Yeah.
But the sun did not come here. The sun did not come here, right?
Yeah, it's just a light, yeah.
Okay, but when the light arrived to us, we feel heat. Is that correct?
Like the sunlight, yeah.
But we don't see the heat. We feel it, correct?
Yeah, we feel it on the skin, yeah.
Well, this is exactly what happened to us when we speak about Christianity. God the Father is in heaven. God the Son came to earth, and he is the light of the world, and with him the Holy Spirit. So when you believe in the Messiah, my friend, your heart and your life is warmed and gifted with the Holy Spirit. So the Son is an object created by God, but the Son is a great example to make us see. And the same, just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. You see, when the Muslim he say, when God he take a shape of a man, isn't it? This is will lower his quality. The answer is in the light in the same time. The Quran says Allah is the light, correct?
Yeah, Nur, yeah.
Okay, the Bible says God is light, the light of the world. Muhammad is trying to copy the Bible, but look what happened. If we send the light of the sun, if the light of the sun come to a swamp water, sewage water, who is going to make who dirty? Can the sewage make the light of the sun dirty?
No, it can't.
But the sewage is still sewage, correct?
Yeah.
And not only that, the light of the sun is going to burn the bacteria, and even the sewage after some time, after exposing it to the sun, is going to become clean.
Yeah, in a way, yeah.
No, it's going to burn everything, especially if the sun is so strong, depending how strong it is. So the sunlight never get affected by dirt, yet it's just a light. This is not God. We can't compare God to just light. So if normal light cannot get affected by the dirt of this earth, how Jesus can be affected. Nothing can affect him. This is why he was pure, he is holy, and he is amazing. So for us, when we say we believe in Jesus as God, we have a million reasons to believe. Not because Jesus, he said, I am God's son, but he did what God do, and he lived as one all his life in this earth. He never commits sin.
So when you said Echad, that unity, you said, is it like the Tawheed?
The Tawheed is not even one. Tawheed is a wrong Arabic word. Muhammad is an idiot. He took the word from the Hebrew, which is Echad. So when you say Tawheed making, you can ask anyone Arabic or speak Arabic. Tawheed mean unification, to unify things. So if Allah is one,
that's the same thing you believe, right? It's unity.
Yeah, but you see, for us, we believe in three person, one God. For them, they believe only one person. So how you use the word Tawheed? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get the point.
So for us, it fit with the belief. For the Muslim, does not fit because simply Allah supposedly is one person, not two, not three. So why you say Tawheed? Tawheed unifying many objects together. Are you with me?
So yes, I'm with you. I'm getting, like, it's just like a lot of information upon me, like, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think is Allah subhanahu, who is like really he is? What do you think?
What do you say again?
Like, who is Allah? Like,
Allah is a fake God, is never exist, and Satan, he used all names for his own deception. You know, his deception is powerful as usual. Satan, if he could not come to you from the door of money, sex, you know, he tried religion, and then he make the religion is about money and sex too. So Islam have all those things. Islam have religion, sex, money, power, bloodshed, and all of that supposedly is coming from God. So now you are serving the devil, thinking that you are serving God.
So doesn't that make the devil powerful?
Well, for sure the devil is powerful, but he is nothing in front of God. At the end of the day, everyone will be in his place. Everyone.
Like even Muslims, like even you believe that the Muslims also will be there.
The Muslims are worshipping the devil. There's no question about that. But that will not change the fact that the devil is the devil. You worship him or not. If you are a fool, this is your, you know, like, you know, if you study law, there's a rule. It says law does not protect the fool. It doesn't. You cannot say to the judge, I was a fool when I did this. That's it. There's no excuse. So when judgment day come, you will be judged, and you cannot claim that I was a fool. Fool you are, to hell you go.
So like my entire family, they are Muslims, they're traditional, like Sunni Muslims. So like they will all go to hell?
Anyone who don't believe in the Messiah, even the Jews, if they don't believe in the Messiah, they will go to hell.
But they don't know, like...
No, they knew. They never heard of Jesus, they never heard the Bible, they never heard the Christians speaking about Jesus. They do. So anyone he do not accept, it is his choice, and don't worry about your family. I mean, try to help them if you want, if you can, but I am not worried about anyone. Even if my dad, he don't believe in Jesus, but he does, thank God. Even if he does, I will not even be sorry for him, because it's his choice. I'm not going to cry for someone who made a choice.
No, like for my ummi, like for my mother and all, like...
Yeah, you speak to her if you want. If you want my help, I will be happy to help her. Do she speak English?
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, if you want, if you don't want her even to talk online, I will be happy to talk just to you. I don't do those things to everybody, but I will do it just for you, my friend.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, if you want to bring your mother, I will speak to her. I will respect her. The same, I promise you, as the same, I respect my mother.
Okay, but she used to have a Christian friend. Like maybe even when I called you, you might have understand. I was not like too hostile to you, because I do have Christian friends, and they have been nice to me. That's true. Yeah, they have been nice. So I always think like it is like nothing that Islam or the Sheikh teaches me. Like they are hypocrites, they're munafiq. That's what it's like taught me from very young age. Like the kafirun are like munafiqs. They're like hypocrites. But I do agree. Like when you say these things and when you show me the reference, I do consider. And yeah, you're right.
My friend, there is bad and good everywhere. We cannot say that the Christians are, you know, I mean, there's many. When we say Christian, is somebody following Jesus, not somebody his name is George or somebody his name is a Christian. Is someone he is reborn again. What does that mean? You choose to follow the Messiah, and by choosing to follow the Messiah, you do as the Messiah he said. That's why the Messiah said, not everyone says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of my Father, but the one who does his will. So you can call yourself a Christian as much as you want. But if you don't follow the Messiah, you are not. We are not the same as the Muhammadan. They say Shahada, and that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
No, nothing like that. You have to believe and to practice your belief.
Like when you say like follow the Messiah, what do you mean? Like say he is the God, or just
you know, we have the 10 commandments. You start from them. You obey God. God, he gave us commandment to follow. God, he said, you know, gave us orders to follow. God, he says, do sin no more. So you need, your duty is to fight sin. This is all your struggle in life. Sin, temptation, money, deception, like this guy, the filthy man, and rotate. So there's a lot of filthy people trying to poison you.
I don't respect Andrew Tate anyway.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people, you know, he's one of the side of a demonic controlling the world these days. They poison the head of people. They make them believe that life is about just getting rich and get a new car and lies to some girls and have sex with many women.
So many Muslims actually hate Andrew Tate.
I don't care who hate him, who don't, but all the Muslim famous ones, they invite him to their channel. They were proud about a pimp to be in their channel. But that because Islam, as you said, Islam encourage, you know, prostitution anyway. It's not bad in Islam, so they don't see any bad in it. For us, a person like this, if he become a Christian, I'm not going to judge him, but he is a pimp at the end of the day. Even he can become a Christian. However, the first step, a person who, when he leave his filth, let us say he was and he decided to change, and then I would say, you know what? Okay, he was very filthy, and now he decided to change. I mean, I'm not going to judge him, but the guy, he is the same. Nothing changed. His giving courses still the same as before to teach people how to start a pimp business. Actually, I just saw the website posted by one of his gang, and they are asking people to join, and there is like, you know, before it's too late, you know, the price will increase. You have 19 hours left. So
I think he's respected in the West, but I don't think he's going to be respected in the East. Like,
my friend, I don't care who respects such a person who don't, and nobody respect him. Trust me, he is a scumbag. And who is going to respect somebody? He make his money from prostitution. Do you?
No, I don't.
If a person, he become, let us say, he repent, what is the first thing he do? He will give all the money he made from something bad, at least to the women he made, you know, he made the money from, so they can change their life. Correct?
Yeah. Like
he have a $300 million. What about giving $200 million to those women who you deceived? You destroyed their life, so they stopped doing this business. Did he give his money to the poor? So those are scumbags. They fool people, and there is a lot of insect in this world. You know, I have a zapper. You know what a zapper is?
No, I don't.
Zapper is a light, has a high voltage. When the insect get close to it,
yeah, the insect killer, yeah.
When the insect get close to it, it get killed.
Yeah.
So many, they think those people, they are like light for them. They are attracted to light because they are themselves, they are insect. They don't have the brain of a human being. They are just following temptation and desire. So when you are an insect, you will fail into the trap.
I think Andrew Tate is smart, because maybe if he was in trouble, then he thought like he will become a Muslim and maybe he will get some help.
Well, you see, it doesn't matter how smart you are. At the end of the day, there's somebody smarter than you, and he will get you busted, especially when you are doing wrong.
Yeah, that's true.
When you are doing wrong, you know, actually in his video, he just said, we saw the video, a police come to him, he throw his phone in the toilet, he flushed the toilet, the phone, blah, 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 start hiding stuff. Why? Because he knew he's bad. If the police come to my door, I will open the door. I will not hide my phone. I will not burn my computer. I will not do anything. And I will stand in front of the police and says, what do you want? Why you are knocking at my door? Why? Because I know I did nothing wrong. Correct?
So, like, in a way, he's just a coward.
When you are guilty, you will fail always. It might be not today, not next year. You might take long. If you don't fail in front of the society, you will fall in the front of God. You cannot, you cannot get away with your guilt. And not only that, actually, even if nobody know about your crime, you will live with it in a horrible life. Trust me. When you sleep, you don't sleep. This guy, he hired a security guard. Do you know why? Because he is not feeling safe. Why? Because he knew how many people he hurt. Not because he's good. He is evil, and he done a lot of evil. And when you do that, only evil will come back to you. So my friend, I want to ask you, do you accept the Messiah as your Lord and your Savior? So he can change your life.
Yes, I do.
I mean to that. Do you accept that the Messiah is God's son, and he is the one who created you and me and Mohammed and created everything in this world? By him and for him, everything created. Do you agree?
I do.
I mean to that. My friend, I want you to read the Bible and educate yourself. I want you to start reading the gospel. Choose any of the four gospels.
You said like when I was talking with you about being tempted, you said that the word there used is not correct. So like
the word is an English word, translation of what mean trying to persuade Jesus. He's trying to make Jesus commit sin, because if you can read the chapter yourself, you will see Jesus did nothing wrong, correct?
Yeah.
So the tempting here is an attempt of temptation, not a successful temptation. And there's a huge difference. If I am being tempted and I fall into temptation, then I am tempted and I did commit the sin. In the case of Jesus,
I get it.
Yeah, in case of Jesus,
like Satan failed to tempt him.
Yeah, Satan, he offered, Jesus rejected. Yeah. That is what it's tempted mean. That he was under a trial from Satan. Satan come to him, he offered him things, and Jesus, because of his authority, he was victorious, and he gave Satan what he deserved. So Jesus never failed, my friend. This is why he is our Lord. If he is a failure, if he is a person who says something, he do the opposite, then I will never follow him. But Jesus, he never did. His name is holy, his act is holy, and he is the holy Son of God, born in a miraculous way, for he is a miracle, and God is a miracle. Same time, when the Bible says God is good, a person said to Jesus, you are good. Jesus said, why you call me good? Don't you know that only God is good? The Messiah saying to the man, and then he said,
I heard about that also from.
And then the Messiah he said, I am the good shepherd. I know my sheep. So the Messiah is saying, only God is good, and that is me. I am God's son. The same as my Father do, I do work too. Everything I have is from my Father. This is why he is holy. The flesh is a flesh, yes. But even that the flesh...
Can I ask you one thing?
Go ahead.
Does Allah mean God or not? Like,
No, Allah is not a one word. Allah is two words, al and la. In Arabic today, al is a word mean the. This is an Aramaic name actually. This is not an Arabic name, and al la mean la is a word mean God. Sorry, al is a word mean God. Let's type it. Al and la. La is the moon god. You can search it in Google. Al,
God.
yes, and al is a word mean God. So al-lah is God lah. It's not one word. Al is the same as the word il in the Hebrew. In the old ancient Hebrew, it used to be al, actually, not il. So Emmanuel used to be Emmanuel. Israel used to be, say, Israel. Mikael used to be Mikael. All those words end with il used to be al, not il. In the new Hebrew, it become il. So the al is coming from the old Aramaic, the ancient Aramaic, which is word mean God, like Daniel. Daniel. So al always was a word mean God. La is the name, is not a word mean God. It is the name of the God, and that is the moon God. And then you will see the Muslim says to you, well, how Allah is the moon God if the Quran says don't worship the moon or the sun? That is because,
in front of moon
exactly, but who said that the moon God mean worshiping the moon? He is the moon God. There is two God, one in control of the sun and one in control of the moon. But he is not the moon, and the other one is not the sun. They are the one in control of object, great object in the universe. So they worship them because the people, they fear certain object in life. Like some, they used to worship the thunder. So even in Muhammad, he said that the Ra'd, if you go to chapter 13, verse number 13 in the Quran, it says, وَالرَّعْدُ يُسَبِّحُ بِحَمْدِهِ. If you go and read the interpretation, you will see it says that the thunder is an angel in charge of the cloud. The thunder is an angel. He is in charge of the cloud. And this is coming from the old, ancient religions, the moon god religion and other religions, pagans, who they believe really those natural things, they are, there is somebody there. He is that thing, like this thunder is a person. He is not just electronic. They don't know about those things. So, okay, we need to find what the thunder is. So now we create a story and we start worshiping the story. So suddenly the thunder become a person who is an angel, and he is in charge of the cloud, and he lead the cloud from place to place. And when they asked Muhammad about the fire they see, he said, this is the fire belt which he lead the cloud or beat the cloud with it, which means he move it from place to place. As you see here, actually.
Can you just show me the reference?
It's in front of you already. This is Ibn Abbas, chapter 13:13.
Tafsir, okay.
The thunder, by his command, it is an angel. It is an angel. All right? Yeah.
It's an angel, yeah.
And this is Ibn Abbas. We can change different tafsir at Jalalain.
Yeah. Okay.
It says, and the thunder, this is an angel who is in charge of the cloud, driving them while constantly proclaim his praises, or his praise, that he says, glory to Allah, through his praise, subhanallah wa bihamdihi. So the sound you see, the thunder, according to Muslims, this is a subhanallah in the language of the angels. And anyway, like there's tons of stories, like there's 70,000 angel in the right side of his hand and 70,000 in the left side of his side. And then when he beat the first belt, the fire belt, the first 70 they shout subhanallah, and when he make the second beat with his fire belt, the other 70 they shout. As you see, Islam is all just full of stories, and those stories are endless.
Okay, how do you know all these things? I'm
well, this is why.
Are you Muslim? Are you murtad?
Sorry?
Are you murtad? Are you an apostate?
No, I'm not. I've never been a Muslim. I cannot be stupid, sorry. You know, I'm not insulting you. I mean, you are born in a Muslim family, so I cannot say much. But to be a Muslim is something stupid. Extremely stupid.
Like, for us, we don't ask questions, you know, we just believe.
I ask questions. Why not? I ask questions about everything. Because if you don't ask, you don't learn.
No, we don't ask questions. We don't ask questions.
You need to ask questions about everything, even about Jesus. If you want to believe in Jesus.
Like you're possessed by the jinn and something like that.
Well, they want to try to shut you up so you don't ask questions. The Quran chapter 5 verse 101 says, ask not questions. Verse 102 says why?
Yeah,
because if you ask questions, you will leave Islam. All right? Anyway, my friend, I'm so happy for you that you left Islam. And again, if you want me to speak to your mother, I will...
So, like, no, I want to ask you something. Like,
okay.
I cannot, like openly proclaim it, but if they ask questions to me, you know, if I don't show up at the mosque and stuff like that, if they ask questions to me, like, you know these things, like, you studied it, so, like, should I go to, like... Actually, my parents told me, like, you should go and get into a university and get a degree in Islam and all these things, but I don't know. I was, like, skeptic about it, so...
My friend, you can get the best degree of Islam from me. You do not need to pay a penny. It's for free. All right? Just come here, watch the videos, read my books.
The thing is, like, if I have something from there, not a single sheikh would dare to speak to me. That's the thing.
No problem. At least now you know the truth, and the truth will set you free, and you are free now. So the sheikhs, leave them for me, and if they're there, they are welcome to call me, no problem. But here you can learn, and here you can educate yourself, and here you will never see something without seeing the reference in the screen. I never said anything without showing reference. Right?
One more thing that is, like, I'm concerned about that. You are an Arab Christian, right?
Yes.
So do you say Allah? Or
well, the Arab Christian, because they are under the occupation of Muslims for 1400 years, they've been forced to use that word. Otherwise, Allah never appeared to the Arab Christians before, which means in their Bible translation, this is a fake translation, it's not acceptable, it is shameful translation, and no Christian should accept such a thing, for Allah have nothing to do with us.
So, no, I have seen, like, the Aramaic Assyrians or something you call them. They say Allah or something.
No, Allah is not Allah. A huge difference. Al-Ilah, Al-Il, Il. They are just a sound like a music sound. Lah. So, Il is the word God. That's it. There's no name. That is not a name. That is not a word of name of God. It's just a word meaning God. It is not even Lah. It is Al, like, you know, like in order to make like a word, let us say beautiful, they add at the end. It's like a musical word, but it's not even part of it. So it is like when you say in Arabic al-ilah, right? And
I saw it from one Arabic channel, like some people, you know, we have some, you know, some different, like the Warsh and Hafs Quran, like I don't believe this actually, but they say, like, they change some words to make it sound musical. Is that true?
They change some what?
Like they like change some, like they took some, like maybe change, like shifting alif and all, like they tried to change it and to make it sound musical.
In the Quran, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, like as an example, the first verses in the Quran, it says bism. I'm sure you know this verse. I mean, you pray it 5 times a day. Yeah. But in Arabic, there is no such a word. There is no bism. It's not exist. There's no. What do you mean? There's no word. That's wrong. You cannot say bism. That is false. Here we go. Like first you see in the Quran, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. And then if you make a study about it, you will see that they took the alif, which means the letter A, so it can be easier to pronounce and to sing. So BSM become bism, just to make it easy to recite. So they corrupt the Quran, they add letters and they took off letters, and this is not really what the Quran...
So I had this doubt and I asked this to my ulama, and he was not happy. he was having like not so good face, like someone who gets diarrhea or something, like that kind of a face. And he said to me like, the meaning is same. There is no much change, nothing.
So, but isn't it okay? The meaning did not change, but how you corrupt the language? If Allah He said bism, you read it as it is. He did not say bism. There is nothing in Arabic is bism. You see, here we go in front of you. If you see on the screen, chapter 56, 56, all of them 56, 59, 96. It says bism, not bism. You see it? There's alif.
Yeah,
Right.
alif. Yeah.
But in the first verse, it says bism. That letter is gone. Why? Just because they want to make it nicer to pronounce, and they are not even ashamed of it. You know, so they croak and they say the Quran is not a croak language, but as you see, they are admitting it's a croak language, because why you need to change the words the way they are just to make it sound better, look like Allah He could not do it. They are doing it.
But it could be also be the Khalifa Uthman.
No, it's not the Khalifa. This is a person. His name Abu Aswad ad-Du'ali. He is the one who added all those things to the Arabic language and to the Quran. All right? He added disaster, actually. And he is not even an Arab.
He's not an Arab?
He's not an Arab, no. the one who is fixing, you know, their Arabic is not even an Arab. Yeah.
And
you see,
I do read translation, and also in Urdu. It's like a language like Hindi. Most Muslims here in India, we also use Urdu. But I think the translation that you show me is not the one I read or recite, or even like when reciting we use the Arabic, but when studying we use the translation. You understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter really what it is. At the end of the day, if you speak Arabic, you do not need a translation. You know.
So like.
Yeah.
So like, should I learn it? Should I go and learn it from them, or?
Well, if you want to educate yourself better, you better learn Arabic so you can love more at the Quran. So
yeah, they also do teach Arabic.
You can. It's up to you. I mean, you know, there's many ways to learn Arabic, but if you speak the language, it's better than.
For example, like you show me for example, the translation with which I am having is not saying the Holy Son in the Surah Maryam, chapter 19.
This is nothing. There's a huge difference in translation, but this is not only the problem. There's different Quran in Arabic. They are not the same. There's tons of Quran. They are not the same as the other Quran.
They're like the NIV and the KJV or something like you have, like, so it's the same, right?
It's what again?
Like you have the Bible NIV and something called KJV.
No. You see, translation is translation. For us, we have to go by the old Aramaic and the Greek and the Hebrew. That's it. So, but we're talking about the Quran in Arabic itself is not the same Quran. It's not.
I
will give you an example. I will give you an example. You can go check it out in Ibn Kathir.
Even the haraka, like the vowel sounds.
No, just not like the meaning change. Totally different meaning. The opposite, actually. Like the sun ran to its course.
Yeah.
Okay. But the verse in chapter 36, verse number 38, it says, وَالشَّمْسُ تَجْرِي لِمُسْتَقَرٍ لَهَا, and the sun ran to its fixed course. If you go to Ibn Kathir, he will say, and there is other recitation saying, by Ibn Masood, saying, and the sun does not run to its fixed course. So now we have a huge difference, because this is the opposite. Right?
It's not a tafsir.
No, this is not tafsir. This is the Quran. This is Quran. There is two Quran. One says the sun run to its fixed course, and the other Quran says the sun does not run to a fixed course.
I see.
So here is not just a recitation differences. This is the opposite. It cannot be it run, it does not run.
Yeah, I heard about it, like in Libya and all, they have some But
everywhere. And the Muslim, they always try to hide them. Even Muhammad, he says, the Quran sent to me in 7 letters. So 7 Quran in the time of Muhammad, as he claims. Some statement, they are 10. Some they say even there is 800 Quran. They are different from each other.
So like, it does not even mean the same thing?
Exactly, it's the opposite. And I can show it to you right now. Here we go. Chapter 36, verse number 38. Here we go. This is Ibn Kathir. 36. And then we go to 38. And Ibn Kathir, he will show you the 2 of them. One, it says, the sun run to its fixed course. Here we go. Look, here it says, I don't know if you can see my screen. It says here, from the recitation of Ibn Masood, here we go. Ibn Masood and Ibn Abbas, this is 2. May Allah pleased with them, recited the ayah as وَالشَّمْسُ تَجْرِي لَا مُسْتَقَرَّ لَهَا, and the sun runs with no fixed course for a term. No fixed course. The other recitation of Hafs says with fixed course. So it is the opposite. If you go just a few lines and it's fixed course.
Yeah.
If you go a few lines, no fixed course. And as you see, this is Ibn Kathir. This is not me saying and adding and putting, you know. Everything we say, it is just in the front of us in the screen.
So it's like completely 2 different things. No.
It's the opposite. It's like saying with the fuel and the other one saying without the fuel.
Like one person is saying look left and one person is looking
exactly
right.
It's the opposite direction totally.
Yeah.
All right, my friend. You see, I'm losing my voice. I wish I can speak to you longer.
So thank you so much, brother.
But I'm happy that you accept the Messiah. He become your savior. And again, I will be happy to help your mother and any of your family if you wish. Just let me know. And
thank you so much, brother.
We praise the Lord who sent you today to me, so we can have a nice conversation.
I'm sorry if I talk anything bad like in the beginning, because
no, don't worry.
For us, it is not like if someone says something bad upon the Prophet or on the Allah, just to cut them off, or
yeah, don't worry. You call me Satan, but I'm sure now you are sure I am not.
Yeah, you do have reference and the proof, whatever you say. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, my friend. God bless you. We pray that the Lord will open the eyes of your family and your mother and whoever you love, so they can join you in your journey to heaven, and they will be with you. For God is good, so is Jesus. And we are happy for you to be saved. And the Bible says a happiness will be in the kingdom of God. A happiness, all kingdom of God, there is a happiness for one soul is saved. So today, there is a happiness in the kingdom of God just because of you and whoever else was saved today. So you are someone important today, for you are a child of God now. You are not a slave of any. You are a child of God, and the Messiah, he is your Lord and he is your Savior. Welcome to the family, my friend.
I believe in Jesus, yeah.
I mean to that. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Do you want to say anything for those who are listening?
Oh, well, I don't know if I can call Muslims brothers anymore, but I call always your brothers. And I would say maybe consider what you believe, like maybe explore more into it, and don't just take the word of your sheikhs. They may lie to you, and they have been lying to me. So, yeah.
I mean to that. Thank you, my friend, very much, and God bless you. Take care. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, we have one person trying to call me, but I'm really, my voice is tired. Let me get some water. Maybe I can take one more Muslim, and maybe we can help him to become a Christian before I go. This guy was calling me non-stop. He's so excited. Obviously, he's so angry. Let us see. His name is so long. Hello? Yes, my friend, you are live on air?
I just wanted to talk about your point regarding the Bismillah. The Bismillah when the Alif is removed. You said that this is corrupting the Arabic, right? Like they're corrupting the Arabic language.
Exactly.
How is that the case?
What is the way to write it? Is it bi-ism or bism?
You can say both.
It can't be both.
Yeah, I can. So, like, for example, let me give you an example.
Okay, give me an example.
If I was to say, "Ma fish mushkila,"
This is a street language, man. This is street language, you know.
No, it doesn't. No. One second.
Yeah.
Ma fish mushkila, or ma alik, right? I can either write it as mim fa with a mim fa, right, instead of ma and then fi. I could just remove the alif from.
This is a street language. You write whatever you want. We are talking about the Arabic language. My friend, there is nothing. It's called mafish. This is not even Arabic. This is a street language.
Yeah, it's from a dialect. Yeah, that's
okay, no problem. But so you are comparing wrong. So
no.
Did Allah give you bi-ism or bism?
What do you mean?
The Muslim scholars agree that they changed it. It was bi-ism for the ease of reading. So if Allah He gave it bi-ism, how you change it and you make it bism just to make it easier?
Because making it easier to read isn't corruption.
Thank you very much. So making it easier, so Allah He did not change it, you change it. So you Muslims, you play with your Quran and you claim that we do not touch any letter in the Quran, but you just admitted that you took letters out of the Quran to make it easier, to make the Quran beautiful. Are you saying the Quran is ugly without changing it?
No.
So why you change it? So what?
Because the difference between reciting with making something beautiful to recite, when you're saying, I think this is a really useless point. You're saying that, oh, removing the alif, this is tahrif, this is corruption. Look at how the Muslims have distorted the Quran. The meaning hasn't changed at all.
Okay, I will go with you that the meaning did not change. But
no, there's no, wait 1 second. There's no like, oh, I'll go with you because the meaning doesn't change.
Oh, okay. The meaning did not change, but that will not change the fact that you took what Allah said and you replaced it with a different word.
It's not different. Okay.
It is because now you made a new.
Okay.
My friend, the original is bi-ism, correct?
Sure.
Okay, so bi-ism, and now you make it bism. So this is not the original. Let us say in Arabic there's a million words for the same word, but you have no right to change it. If Allah is God and He said that word, you should be honest and leave it as it is. Who are you to take it and change it? Don't Allah knew that He should make it nicer? So are you saying you are making Allah word nicer because He failed? However, I want to ask you, as long as you mentioned this, who can write Quran better than Allah?
No one.
Can Allah write Quran better than Allah? Can Allah write Quran better than Allah?
Can Allah write Quran? Why would? No, that wouldn't work because like there wouldn't be anything else that would need to be better. Like whatever Allah would give would be the perfect.
Are you sure?
Yes.
All right. Do you see my screen?
Oh. 1 second.
Take 1 minute.
Yeah.
All right. Read for me, please.
فسبح باسم ربك. Okay, wait 1 second.
You can read in Arabic if you want. You can read in no, there's no sabbih, you know?
Yeah, فسبح.
No. ما ننسخ من آية أو ننسها نأتي بخير منها أو مثلها.
Sorry, no, 1 second. Yeah.
Okay, chapter 2, verse 106.
Yeah. ما ننسخ من آية. Okay, yeah. None of our revelations do we abrogate or cause to be forgotten, but we substitute something better or similar. Knowest thou not that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hath power over all things?
But you just said to me, I ask you, do Allah write Quran better than the Quran of Allah? You said no. But Allah, He said,
prove that the abrogation is referring to the jamala of the Arabic.
My friend, Am I going to add words to the Quran now? Are you going to add words the same?
One second. Because now you're conflating.
There's no. I don't care. It is for the beauty. I'm not talking about the beauty. I'm not talking about. I'm not talking. My friend.
You're conflating now. You're conflating abrogation, right? And like when the verse says, nor of our revelation to be abrogated or cause to be forgotten, but we substitute something better or similar.
Okay.
Better or similar. You're assuming that when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says better, you're referring to the Arabic being better than what was written. Okay. This like that's not how that verse
Okay, tell me what better mean. Well, go ahead, I'm listening.
Okay. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala orders X in a certain situation, and then decides X is no longer suitable for the situation because the situation has changed. So instead he orders Y, X is abrogated and Y is better for the situation. But that has nothing to do with like the linguistics of how that's commanded.
Okay. Do you see the word similar?
Can you go back to the Arabic, please?
مثلها.
Yeah.
Okay, مثلها is similar, likeness. Okay, so if it's not about making better because X and Y, they are not fit together now, so X is better than Y, here is saying he will make similar. So why he want to abrogate something to make it the same thing?
Okay. Being of a similar kind or a similar state does not mean that it's exactly synonymous with it. For example, I can say that eating an apple on Sunday is similar to eating an apple on Sunday when it's raining. Those two aren't the same things because there are certain situations that can cause for something different, but they have similar things within them. Okay, when Allah
my friend, you are making things up. No, give me an example. Give me an example from the. Give me a real example. Give me a real example. My friend, give me a real example. Give me a real example, not an apple. Something.
No, I'm just. Why does that matter? I'm just giving you.
No, it matters. It matters. You are giving me apple. I don't even eat. Even I don't eat apples. Since Adam did what he did, I don't eat apples, my friend. So give me. Don't tell me. Don't give me apple in the summer on the Sunday. Give me an example in Islam where Allah he made something similar like the apple. Go ahead.
Why do I need to do that? That's not relevant.
Because you are the one who had the apple there. Because when he says similar, my friend, when he caused it to be forgotten. He caused it to be forgotten. Why? If you want to make it similar, why he caused it to be forgotten?
What is happening? I only gave that example to show you that something can be similar and different at the same time.
But this is not similar. This is not similar. This is not similar. This is funny because you eat apple in Sunday or you eat in Saturday. The apple is still apple, and this. And there is no point. There's no point. Okay, listen. I will make a verse. I will make. No, don't change the topic. Give me an example. Give me an example. Give me. Before we go to the question, second question, please. Give me an example of what you say to explain this verse. Give me an example of Allah. He said something, and then He decided to make us forget it and give us something similar. Go ahead.
Why do I need to do that?
Because there's none. All the story here, Muhammad cannot remember what he said yesterday. So he comes second day, he says something the opposite, and we can go and open the interpretation. Do you want?
I don't really care. That's not really relevant to what I'm talking about. The only reason why I mentioned
No. Do you want me to read the? Are you a Shia? Are you a Shia, my friend? Are you Shia?
Yeah, alhamdulillah, I'm Shia. Yeah.
Okay, you are Shia. What interpretation like for this verse?
I don't really, bro. I don't really care. Like this isn't relevant. I'm telling you. The only reason why I mentioned that is
why you don't want to take your shakes. Why you don't take what?
My main point is no, because now you're gonna say
if you don't want if you don't want tafsir, then you have to give me an example.
Bro.
Give me an example. What's the problem? What is the problem?
And you're examining me on this because of the fact that, like, I mentioned an example, and you're saying, no, that's not.
I don't care. I forget about. You see, I'm like Allah. I forget things. I am like Allah. I forget things. I forgot about your. I forgot about your apple. Don't worry about the apple. Make it orange. Give me an example. Give me a real example from Islam. This is. Are you saying to me? Are you saying?
Why I brought that? Do you know why I brought that example?
I don't care. I'm asking you about this verse.
Okay, then why don't
Can you give me? Can you give me? I don't care about what you said already. You wash your hand from it. You don't want to talk about it.
Bring an example.
Give me a real example, not a fiction example from the Quran. This is the Quran speaking about something happened in the time. My friend,
just answer my question.
Is the Quran speaking about something happened?
Why I mentioned that example?
Is it happened? Is it happening or never happened? It happened. So the Quran.
Just answer the question.
The Quran came for a reason.
Why did I bring that example?
Okay, why? Why? Tell me.
Because all I wanted to show was that something being similar does not mean that it's 100% simultaneous to something. That makes no sense.
Give me an example.
I literally just gave the example.
No, you're not. You give me an apple. This is silly. I'm asking you an example for what happened here. Something happened. Allah is, are you saying to me? Are you saying to me? Are you saying? Are you saying Allah is saying things have no meaning, or something really happened there?
That's not okay. Me not bringing an example of that actually happening doesn't mean that it has no meaning.
Okay, then give me what it's mean. I want to know what it does mean by saying I will make you forget it, and I will give you something better or similar.
Yeah, do you know what similar means?
Oh, give me an example so I can know what it does mean.
I already gave you an example.
Okay, you see, you are refusing.
No.
You are refusing. You are refusing. Let us go. Let us go. Okay, hold on.
Oh, give me an example that relates to Islam.
Hold on. Is it true? Is it true? This is a verse was given to Muhammad, supposedly from Allah, because Muhammad, he says something at night, and he changed his mind in the morning.
What?
Is this verse happened because the Arab, they were laughing at Muhammad because he enjoy his followers a command at night from Allah, and then he received a command from Allah the second day, changing it, opposing it?
What? No.
No.
Why does that matter?
All right, let's see if this is true or not. Chapter 2, verse 106. And this is why you don't want me to show you the reference. You refuse to see the interpretation or the reason for the verses, because if we show you, you will be upset, and that will prove that you are wrong or you are not being honest with me. I don't know which one.
No. The whole point is that I don't need to. My
friend, okay, here we go. Read with me. Read with me.
Why similar doesn't mean simultaneous.
Read with me, if you don't mind. Go ahead. The screen in front of you.
Okay. Okay. When the disbelievers began to deride the matter of abrogation, saying that one day Muhammad enjoins his companions to one thing, and the next day he forbids it, God revealed, and whatever verse, ma is the conditional particle that has been revealed containing a judgment, we abrogate either together with its recital or not. That it is only judgment, but its recital continues. There is a variant reading, nunsikh, meaning whatever verse we command you or Jibreel to abrogate or postpone, so that we do not reveal the judgment contained in it, and we withhold its recital or retain it within the preserved tablet. A variant reading of nunsiha, nunsiha is nunsiha, to forget. So whatever verse we abrogate will cause you to forget.
All right, let us start from the beginning. When the disbelievers began to direct the matter of abrogation, saying that one day Muhammad enjoined his companions to one thing, and then the next day he forbid it. What do you say? You are the one who said to me, there's no such a thing.
No, I didn't. I said, why does that matter?
Which matter? That's mean Muhammad is a crazy, because there's no way God. I mean, there's only 8 hours difference between the sleeping and waking up. So if Allah he say a command, and then second day in the morning the command changed, what happened? It's not a second century. It's not 500 years after. So we say, oh, between Muhammad and Musa's there's hundreds and thousands of years. We can say here there's a few hours. Muhammad he just went to bed. He enjoyed the command. And then he changed his mind. Why?
Because God told him to. Like, what does that change? What does that?
Well, that mean he is not commanded by God.
What's your point?
Okay, give me an example of any prophet he received command by afternoon. Second day, God gave him the opposite command.
I don't need to.
Okay, you do not need to. Well, here what we have, that people are laughing at Muhammad because obviously he is not doing something from God. As an example, I will give you a verse as an example for this. You see, you failed to give me a verse because maybe you do not know your religion as the rest of the Muslims. But I know all Muhammad laundry here. So Muhammad, he said, Al-Hurru bil-Hurr. You know this verse?
Hurru bin Hurr?
Uh-huh.
No, just reference the verse to me.
Free for the free, slave for the slave, woman for the women. Chapter 2, verse 178.
Yeah.
Muhammad, he gave this verse, and then second day, Muhammad, he changed his mind. Well, this is a command about murder. Allah, he gave it from 7 heaven. It take 1,000 years for Allah angels to deliver a message. And now Muhammad just receive it. And then the second day, Muhammad, he changed it. How is it so?
Okay, and?
What do you mean, and? This is this is in the case of murder. Nothing will change, my friend. My friend, in the case of murder, nothing will change.
Wait. Your argument is this, is that because there is such a short time in which something was abrogated, this leads us to doubt the nubuwwah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Why?
Listen, this is not about short time only. This is in listen. This is in the case of murder. This is not in the case of food. This is not the case of apple. Murder is a murder. So if Allah was giving justice, it is justice. Are you saying to me, when Allah, he made this law, he found himself in the morning mistakenly stupid, and he decided to fix it, so he decided to cause it to be forgotten, and he abrogated it?
No.
So why? What's wrong with it? Why we need to change it?
Abrogations doesn't necessarily mean that God found himself mistaken.
No, it says there better. You see, you remember? It says, you see. I showed you the verse. I showed you the.
You're acting like an. Okay, one second.
Listen, the verse says better or similar. Don't tell me it's not better. Allah, he used the word better or similar. So Allah, he found a better solution. And he decided to change this solution because it's obviously funny and stupid. If you read the interpretation for this verse, you will see people, they die laughing at such a law. I mean, a man, he killed my wife. I go kill his wife, or I kill the man. A man, he killed my slave. I kill his slave. Al-hurru fil-hurr, the free for the free, slave for the slave, woman for the women. What is justice? This is the most stupid justice ever. When the Arab, they start laughing at Muhammad, Muhammad immediately, his God, he went to sleep, he snore. Suddenly in the morning, he have a new law. He said, forget about this one. This one is so dumb. This is stupid, you know. Allah, he gave me better verse. Otherwise, give me the reason.
Do you think that every abrogation God does is because God is stupid?
Don't change the topic. Give me the reason he changed it.
No, because this is your argument. This is your argument, Christian Prince. I'm not talking about, it raining in Chicago.
This is not my argument. I'm asking you why Allah, give me your, my friend.
If you don't want to question,
my friend,
what this theologically entails,
my friend,
then fine. That's not my problem.
Speaking fast doesn't help you.
I'm asking you a question.
Speaking fast is not going to help. Give me.
God abrogates something because
don't tell me, do you think? Don't you tell me, do you think? I am not the one who changed it. I'm asking you.
I'm asking you a question.
I'm asking you why. Give me the reason. Give me, my friend. My voice is gone.
1 second, because now we're dealing with what it means for something to be abrogated. Okay, we're talking about the nature of abrogation in relation to God's knowledge. Okay, you're saying, oh, God, he made this ruling of the law of equality, and this is a stupid law. God went to sleep, and then tomorrow he woke up and he decided, wow, this was ridiculous. Why did I do this? And then he gave a better law or a similar law or whatever, right? That's your argument, okay? What I'm saying here is, I'm asking you now, are you saying this because you think that if God abrogates something, he didn't know it beforehand, or he was stupid beforehand?
I'm not saying that. Your God saying that. He's saying this is stupid.
No.
Let me finish. I listen to you. I listen to you. You don't want to listen to me. We don't talk. If you talk at the same time, nobody will understand what we are saying. So listen. Allah, He changed it. Is that because it's perfect? Obviously not. If it's perfect, He will not change it. He will not abrogate it. But why? This is about a murder. I mean, this is not about making falafel. Okay, add some spice, or maybe have a blood pressure. Don't add salt. This is about a murder. Murder is a murder. Will be murder in the time of Moses. Will be a murder in time of Muhammad. Will be a murder now. And justice is justice, and this is justice of God. This is the law of God. So this is not about food. This is not about fasting. This is not about praying. This is about a murder. So He made a verse, and now right away He decided to cancel it. Did He cancel it because He have something better? If it is not better, then this is good. We follow it. And why He cancel it if it is not bad? Go ahead.
Okay. If we're going to argue it's better, it's only better in relation to the situation.
What situation? Do you see here? It says a guy. His name is Ahmed.
The situations in murder.
What? There's no situation. There's no situation. No. You see, murder is a murder. There's no situation. It's a murder, and there's no. It's not about an individual person.
You understand there are different.
Listen. It's not about a person. It's not about a case. It's about, in the case of murder, free for the free, any free for a free, any woman for a woman, any slave for a slave. It is not about a person. So either Allah was mistakenly making this verse, and He found that He is really funny and wrong, so He decided to fix Himself by sending something better, as the other verse says, or this is a very good, but Allah, He said to Himself, you know what, it's so good for those Muslims, so I'm going to make it more bad. So what it is it because it's bad and He wanted to make it fix it, or because it's good and He want to make it bad?
So the abrogation in this verse, are you saying that the law of equality, which is where if, let's say, you kill my brother and you're put under trial, I can kill your brother, or it's fine for me to kill your brother, or your brother should receive the death penalty, whatever, right? This law of equality, are you arguing where is the abrogation? Like, is it afterwards? Like, if any remission is made by the brother of the slain, then grant him reasonable demand. Is that the abrogation?
My friend, you know Arabic, you know English better than me, and you speak Arabic. It says equality. So was it equality, or it was difficulty of stupidity? It says equality.
No, I'm asking you.
Okay,
no, it is.
Listen. When Allah, He says equality, it's He is meaning it, right? So it is equality, it's not stupidity. So there is no point of changing something in the law of equality to give us something better than equality, because it's equality already in the case of murder. And this is the justice, supposedly. So either it was a justice or it was not. Otherwise, I will not change it.
Okay, no, I asked you where the abrogation is in regards to the law of equality.
Obviously, you do not know, my friend. Obviously, you do not know your book. You have no idea what are you talking about. You never heard of this one.
Asking a question means I'm a jahil. Yes. I'm asking you, where is the abrogation?
Okay, if I show you the abrogation,
yes,
that will change anything here?
No, I'm just asking for a greater understanding.
I'm asking you. If this is abrogated by other verse, and you are asking me where is the abrogation, are you debating me?
I'm not asking.
Are you arguing? Okay, hold on. Are you arguing? Are you arguing with me until now? All this time, and you do not know if this is really abrogated or not?
I thought you were saying it was abrogated.
No, so I'm saying, do you know it's abrogated, or you just follow what I say?
I'm not really sure whether it's abrogated or not. Like I don't think it is. I haven't heard any evidence to suggest that.
Okay. So how come you were explaining to me why Allah He changed it without even knowing if it's abrogated or not?
Because I thought you were arguing for its abrogation. So I said, okay, if we're arguing it's abrogated, that doesn't change it.
But you are defending the abrogation, but now if it is not abrogated, you are defending why He changed it.
Bro.
You see the hypocrisy here. You were defending. Listen.
I'm defending something look. I thought you were arguing for its abrogation. So I said, okay, well, if it's abrogated, it doesn't change anything. Like that doesn't mean anything. Like that's what I was just defending.
No, now you are asking me where is the abrogation. Now you are asking me where is the abrogation. You are asking me where is the abrogation. The abrogation is in the chapter of Al-Ma'idah, and I will show you the verse. But now the question is, you are arguing with me about why Allah He does change it, and you are defending the change, but you yourself, you do not even know what the change.
That doesn't. Why do I need to know that in order to defend?
So how you can defend why it's changed if maybe it's not a change? Maybe this Christian, he is saying wrong, but you are defending why he changed it. And now what I discover from you, that all the 30-minute previously we wasted, me and you defend why he changed it. It turned to be you are just defending blindly. You do not even know if it's changed or not. Just a Christian prince, he says, why Allah he changed this verse? I will defend. But you don't even know if it's changed or not for sure. So you are defending defending just because you are
wait 1 second. So basically you're now trying to embarrass me by the fact that I gave you I trusted your word. Like
no, I am. It's embarrassing that you are defending, and yet you are not a person who knew for sure if this is a change or not. Because if I am you, I will not defend it, and I will say, well, this is not change. You said to me it's change. It does not. It's in front of you. Word change, but you agreed, and you were defending. So in my mind, that means you know the verse it's changed, and that's why you are defending the verse it's changing, but it turned to be you never heard of it. You never know it.
Christian Prince, I'm giving you the intellectual credit that you deserve. If you're arguing that it's changed, then I don't really need to look at the change.
No, you need, because you jump to defense. You jump to defense. Okay, let me ask you. Until now, after all this conversation, listen. After all this conversation, do you know where the verse abrogate this verse?
No, just tell me.
So why you claim to be a Muslim then? What is Muslim about you?
What? That doesn't mean any. What?
What? Because you were defending. You were defending. My friend. You were defending.
You're saying you can't claim to be a Muslim because you don't know the abrogation of this verse.
No, you are saying to me, where is the change? You are asking a Christian person, where is the change? And you are the Muslim who's calling me to correct me, but you yourself, you defend without knowing, and you never heard. What?
You're the one talking about this verse. I didn't even bring any verse.
No, you are the one who said to me, where is the change? Where is the abrogation? Show me the abrogation.
I asked you so that I can just...
Exactly. You said to me, where is the abrogation? Listen. You say... No, this is not a question. Okay, tell me. I just asked you again. I said, do you know where it is? You said no.
Yes.
Okay. That mean you are defending the Quran without knowing what we are talking about.
Okay, if it changes to Oompa Loompa or if it changes to oranges or green, what does that matter?
Oh, now it doesn't matter. A second ago it mattered. Now it doesn't matter.
How did it? Look, dude, you're the only one making it matter. I told you. Like, I even said this before. I said it doesn't matter what it changed to. If there's a change, then I'm just.
It matter because this is in the case of murder and should not change in a billion year, not in a million year. This is not about how to make carrot, not how to cook falafel. This is about in the case of murder, and this is justice. So in the time of Musa should be the same in the time of Jesus. Should be the same in the time of Mohammed, should be the same in our time now. It's not something you change every day. You go to sleep.
Christian Prince, so
okay,
I asked you the question.
Read with me. Here we go. I will show.
The question: when God abrogates something, when God is abrogating.
Who said God abrogates something? I did not say that. I said Muhammad. I said Muhammad is a mentally ill man. He says something.
Do you believe that God never abrogates?
Listen, don't change topic. No. This cannot be God. This cannot be God, because God, he is not going to change his mind in the case of murder. He will not change his mind in the case of murder in 8 hours.
Are we talking about abrogation or not?
We are talking about falsification and fabrication and fiction. This is cannot be from God. Yeah, this is a fiction man. He tried to be a prophet, so he came with the case of murder.
Okay, so we're talking about abrogation. So the answer is yes.
No, we are talking about Muhammad. We are talking about, we are proving. Listen,
so what are we talking about this past 20
there is
minutes?
nothing called abrogation. That is a lie. Number one. Number two. This is about Muhammad. This is about Muhammad. This is about Muhammad getting. This is about Muhammad getting busted by the Arab. He changed his mind. People laugh at him.
I don't know why you think about men.
Okay, hold on. You are a Shia. You are a Shia. Listen. You are a Shia and you practice muta, correct?
Yes. So
okay. The Sunni, they don't practice muta, correct?
Yeah, they don't.
Okay. So where is the abrogation verse for the muta?
It wasn't abrogated to a verse.
It's not abrogated, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you Muslims, you change your Quran, or your prophet, he changed the Quran. Who changed it?
I said it wasn't abrogated to a Quran.
So why the Sunni, they say the prophet, he did abrogate?
In the Kutub Sunnah, they have riwayat mentioning that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam abrogated it fi yawmi Khaybar.
Okay, which one of them is telling the truth, the Shia or the Sunni?
The Shia and the Sunnah both agree that there was an abrogation at Khaybar, but the Shia say that it was only specific for that case.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So Allah, who is the one who abrogated the Quran, Allah or Muhammad?
Whatever Allah, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, because it was a command from Allah.
Thank you very much. So Muhammad, he is your God, not Allah, because he changed. Listen. If Allah, he says you do muta, who is Muhammad to forbid the muta? And muta is about what? The muta is about renting.
The very fact that
here we go. You keep it praying. Look at you. You are mushrik. You keep praying on Muhammad with Allah and making them one God together. You know. You can't you don't even dare to say his name. You don't even dare to say his name without praying on him. Listen. Allah, he prayed on Muhammad. But listen. So Muhammad, he allowed muta. What is the ethic? What is the ethic of the muta?
Can I ask you a question, CP?
What is the ethic of muta, my friend? You are a Shia. You are welcome. We don't have too many Shia. We don't have too many Shia. They call me, to be honest with you.
One second. Because you just said like I'm being a mushrik and I'm making Muhammad Allah. If I shoot you with a gun, am I the gun?
If I shoot you with a gun, what?
If I come to you with a gun and I shoot you, right?
Yeah.
Am I the gun?
You are the gun?
Am I the gun?
No, you will be gun then.
No, CP. The whole point is agency. Okay, I'm shooting you. It would be correct to say that I shot you. Okay, if you told me if I shoot you and you say, "Ow, you shot me," I'm not going to respond, "Oh, the gun did it. I didn't do it." Of course I did it. I shot you through the gun. Okay?
So the muta is the gun now?
The action of shooting is still mine, even though the gun is the thing that performed it, right? So am I the gun or am I me?
You are the idiot who use a gun to shoot people. That's what I see. But what does this have to do with my topic? If Muhammad, he allowed the muta,
because I'm pointing out
what is the ethic? What is the ethic? What is the ethic? What is the ethic?
Okay.
Where is the ethic? Are you saying to me Muhammad is the gun now? Is Muhammad the gun? I don't understand.
What? You understand? I'll explain it.
What the gun have to do with our topic? I'm saying, my friend. ما في مشكلة. أخوي اسمع. اسمع. When your prophet, he allowed muta, and this is a verse in the Quran.
Can I explain?
Why he forbid something allowed by Allah? Did Allah find himself mistakenly giving a command of prostitution, so he decided to fix it?
No. Can I explain what my example was?
Okay, can you tell the people here they are listening what muta is, if you don't mind?
Muta is a form of nikah, like a muta is a zawaj. Muta is zawaj.
Is nikah? You said nikah. Nikah is the correct one.
Yeah. Nikah al-mut'a, zawaj al-mut'a. It's all the same.
Is it true? It's a kind of rental.
Is it true? It's a kind of rental? No. Why would it be a rental?
Don't you rent a woman?
Why would I rent women?
With muta, it's a kind of rental. It's a rental, actually.
I don't think so. Look, CP.
No. Listen.
Okay, if you want to discuss muta, we can.
We will, because all of this is the same. Oh, my friend, all of this is the same topic. Muta is the same topic we're in. Muhammad, he changed his mind because simply he's fabricated religion.
Yeah, okay, so now
I say to you, is muta is a kind of rental? You said no, and you deny it. Why you deny that?
Because of the logistics of how muta works, it's not a rental.
All right, here we go. This is your official Islamic Shia website saying muta is a kind of rental. Why you are giving me false information against what your Islamic scholars teach? And you said you are a Shia. Read with me. Read in front of you. Muta, this is al-Islam.org, very well-known Shia website. Muta is considered as a kind of rental because in general men's basic aim is in this kind of marriage a sexual enjoyment of women, and in return for his enjoyment the women receive certain amount of money or property. Why you denied it is muta rental?
I think that in terms of calling it a rental, I think that the wording is I think that it would be I think that the wording is not appropriate to call it a rental.
So you Muslim scholars, they are lying.
They're not. When did I say that? I said it's not appropriate in today's day and age.
So are you? Oh, so today we should not say a rental, but 100 years ago we can, or 50 years. But in the internet now.
Yeah, because societies had different conceptions of women.
Okay. So now in the muta, in the Shia religion, they don't have that mentality about women. Women is a property. We rent them like cars, and we pay them money by right. Because we ride them, we ride those women like cars, so we need to pay them money in return for.
I don't think you've ever rode a woman in your life. CP, I want to ask you a question.
Okay, hold on. You don't think I ever rode a woman?
Rode a woman.
Did you rode a woman? Why you are laughing? Sound like you are a man who do a lot of muta. How much the last muta cost you? Be honest with me.
It cost me $500.
$500.
Yeah. Anyway, can I explain my gun example?
Does it come with AIDS or without AIDS?
I think that you would love to know whether I fucked a woman with AIDS.
Okay.
Can I explain my gut example?
This is just you're a low class person. You need to clean your mouth before you talk to me again. What? I mean, they are liars, lying machines. But you cannot play with the Christian prince. You cannot. You are silly, stupid like your prophet. You did not rule the women. I will convert to Shia and I will rent all Shia women in 2 seconds. Hey Christian, give me donation. I'm going to ride some women in Iraq and Iran. Because he is saying, if you did not rule the women, you are not a man yet. How much? $500? How cheap. I mean, if you want to buy a donkey in Iran, it costs you $3,000. Renting a Shia woman costs you $500? Do she come pregnant or not? I did not hang up on you until you said the F word, my friend. But anyway, I understand. You are a Muslim and you are a Shia. Guys, did you have a good time? Did we have a good time? And he is using dollars to pay the women to practice halal sex. You don't use the Iranian currency. It's equal to the toilet paper. Nobody will take it. This is religion, my friend. This is religion. If this is a religion, what is garbage? You tell me. You tell me. Anyway, as you say, Islam is stupid. He can call me again, by the way, but anyway, I wasn't planning to go earlier, but I said, let me take this guy for a snack, and we did. But obviously he wanna play a lot of games, and we got him busted in everywhere he go. He tried. I feel sorry for him. I feel sad for him. To believe in his family in such a low way, because when you speak about riding women, well, you forgot that your mother is a woman too, and your sister is a woman too. You forgot where you are coming from. Islam teach you not only to disrespect, but to be filthy. Women, there's no way God, holy God, or someone claimed to be a prophet, he will allow people to rent women to road them. And they are proud about it. You remind me of the filthy Andrew Tates. You are no different from him. For all what he is talking about is about riding women, using women, renting women, abusing women. And this is why Islam is not from God. Islam is of the devil. There's no way that you are following the true God and you are speaking in such a manner. So if you, I'm not going to insult his mother, but what he said, he don't mind if somebody, he rented his mother for $500 and do the F word with her as he use it. That's what Islam does to you. Make you a low-class person, zero ethic, with no respect. I hope today we have a good time together. Don't forget to subscribe, share, leave your comment. I think we deserve comment from you, do we? All of you, you come by tens of thousands and you watch, but you are so cheap even to leave a comment. We don't even ask you about any donation or anything. I know you are cheap in everything, but at least a comment. At least. A comment doesn't hurt you. Same time, it shows that you care and you are using your brain, in case you have one. So, share in your comment about what you heard. Don't be a rock or a rocket. Be a human being who have emotion, and he do respond to all the madness we heard, the good and the bad and the ugly. Thank you very much. May the Lord bless you. We as a Christians, we are proud in the Messiah, of the Messiah, and we have nothing else to be proud of. For all of us, we are sinners, and we ask and we pray to the Lord to forgive us, for our sin is great, and our sin is not good to take us to heaven. Our sin is not the way to live. Our sin is the wage of death, and he is the only one who can save us. By following his command, he says, sin no more. Sin no more. He don't say do muta, more and more. He said sin no more, which means lie no more, fornicate no more, kill no more, be holy like your Father in heaven. So my fellow brothers and sisters, be holy, for your Father is holy, and his Holy Son is coming with the glory of his angels over the cloud, and he will take all the evil one down under his feet, and to hell they will be sent, where they will be screaming and crying, but then no voice can help you, and no hand can reach you, for you are under the judgment of the judge. His name is the Messiah. His name is great. His act is holy, and he is the powerful God over you. I'm losing my voice. Forgive me. I have to go. And until I see you soon again, God is good. So is Jesus. Muhammad is bad. So is Allah. See ya.